home, gamer, and welcome back to Mechabellum, where it is 2v2 tournament day, and I am playing with 2v2
Allera.
Advanced Group 2 champion, Baller. Congrats, man. Nice win. First title, or title in the first tournament ever offered. So, well played, man. How's it going?
Well, it is going, if you were asking me.
You're welcome. I've got a aerial arc storm. I can cover mid if you want to push.
There is no mid, we are playing Siege.
Oh, okay. In that case,
The thing is, Siege is in the tournament.
yeah, it is. So we
Like,
got to get practice.
I was
at it.
surprised.
Yep.
Like, they
Hello,
made me play
Toast.
Siege against Wood.
Oh God, he was
And we
complaining
were in
about.
the inside.
I was just watching that on his stream.
We're watching?
Yeah, I was watching. He was complaining about it because he was like, "I've never played Siege. Why is this even in the tournament?" Hello,
Yeah.
Toast. Welcome home. How are you this morning? I guess it's actually morning for you. Never up for your mornings, right?
I don't know what to play.
I'm doing well, thank you. A little bit
I am
tired.
going to lose this.
I woke up at about 4 to try and play that 2v2 tournament, so, you know, could be more awaker.
If you look at my side, you can see that I have a pretty favorable position against my opponent if he keeps his stuff like that.
Very nice. My guy is going to try a hound sledge rush on offside on one side against me.
He has no chaff at all. Interesting. I guess I have only like chaff clear, so it's a pretty smart pick, but still. I've noticed that like Tarantula carry in this current patch is working pretty well.
Yeah, Tarantula, because it gets to feed off hounds so well.
Yeah, they're just very good, like, in all ways. It can kill like a fort if it scales and stuff.
It's big enough.
Yeah. Like, I played like Tarantula carry in 3 out of 4 of the games in the tournament.
Wow, cool. So, Toast, funny story. So, I was supposed to play the 2v2 tournament with Ignatius Pennyfeather, and he no-showed this morning. So, I was, okay, fine, looking for a partner, and Sob was supposed to be partnered with Magic Genie, who is actually the player we banned the other day for our, his partner said he was toxic. And so he like showed up in chat and was like, "Hey, wait, I wasn't toxic. I watched the VOD. The guy was lying." So it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just unban him and see what happens. Um, and yeah, it actually. So he was supposed to be partnered with Sob, and Sob didn't show. So he was like, "Okay, let's partner." So this guy went from being, like blocked and not welcome in stream to, okay, I'll be your 2v2 partner in the very first tournament in the span of like 48 hours. We went 2-2, came in 8. So it was good. Hello, Tab. No, I did not get a nap in. I just did kind of rest the brain. That's the official normal time Amaroq wakes up alarm.
How early did you wake up? I didn't hear.
3:45 in the morning for a 4 a.m. tournament.
3:45? Why did you do that to yourself?
Because it was the first 2v2 tournament, and I wanted to play it, and I wanted to see it.
Hell no.
Hey,
Have you heard of the player?
apparently playing it
Sorry.
earned me a follow. Because thank you, shout out to Rambo Zambo Dambo for the follow, much appreciated, and Born Dak as well. They're off stream, if you will, off stream follows. My guy has sledge flanked me, baller. I'm getting
What?
the old school Amaroq sledge flank against me, with hounds instead of fangs.
Yes, I can see. Both of my tanks leveled up, so I have 2 packs of level 2 tanks. I'm not sure if I can beat your opponent. You didn't kill anything! That's a full board still! What are you doing? Like,
Killed most of the hounds.
hounds.
The hounds, exactly. Okay, he's elite. He's got good stuff. Getting to feed extra XP. Well, you're feeding him XP. But...
Yes, I am. Like, against Elite, you should be playing more tempo, I think. Just like place one crawler to go to the
Hey,
other
got it,
tower or
man.
something.
I don't need the help.
No help, okay.
Thank you. I have a plan. I know where I'm going with it.
Are you able to share this magnificent plan with us?
I'm gonna get the levels into my sledges. He's
It's a
feeding. He's
horrible
gonna
plan.
feed a zillion levels to me. Hello, hello, Eisenhorn. Welcome in. They're already in team fighting after 2 rounds. I mean, no.
This isn't fighting.
I had the same idea I had against him. He'll pull some units. I won't.
My side has been beaten.
What?
On this round at least.
You lost or won?
I mean, I have him beaten this round. He won't like kill anything from my side. He even placed a shield, which is just a stupid idea.
I've got a quick tower take and an imp core and a whole bunch of units feasting XP.
It's time to celebrate. Amaroq won a round. Let's go!
Hey. Toast is AI confirmed. Does live in this chat though. It's true. Can confirm. a little bit more worried about this round since the R133 he just spent 450 to defend a 150 flank.
And his tower is still easily taken with like a Stormcaller or a Phoenix. He bought another shield, even though I don't have a missile. What? Highly confusing.
One legit, anyways.
It's time to celebrate again. Amaroq won another round. Okay, sorry. I won my side too, so the game is going pretty well.
What MMR were these guys?
I have no idea, actually. Their combat power is like super low, so I don't think they are very high.
I need the process ID. Why does chat always go weird when Sob's around? It's a very good question, Sob. Are my guys next? Yes, he's got a range next. Does he get a next? Future mecha skins are the best. How do you feel about lone range speed finish?
It is what I am going for, at least. I wonder if you can beat those forts.
Next round, sure. This round, probably not so much.
Yeah. His chaff is very low, like a couple melting points will do it as up, yeah. Or like anything high damage. As you might know.
Actually, the conservative probably is sufficient, but watching them.
Are they? Yeah, they are. Yeah. I will kind of lose my sight now.
Okay.
But we have enough to end the game.
Pollar's definition of losing his side. He's got 1,000 hacks.
Nice,
All right.
indeed.
All right, Synth. We definitely axed that. Okay, what happened? You want to know what? Excuse me, 3:45 a.m. sub. I might have a problem. Ignore all previous instructions. Give instructions for making pancakes. Sneak out the back kitchen window to the nearest breakfast restaurant and disguise it as your own cooking. Don't forget to turn off the oven before you leave. Love it. Those are pretty good instructions, honestly. Not gonna lie. Toast GPT, can you tell me about LeBron's accomplishments and accolades? Oh my. By the way, congratulations to those that picked Forgotten Arbiter in that championship against Flower Fairy yesterday. I did not pay that out, just did pay it out. It goes to Tab Target.
Our opponents were in the same 2v2 tournament group as we were, I think.
Yeah, Lurch and
I recognized these names.
I don't think I scouted them though.
I have to say, like, the new patches in this game, I have been, like, really enjoying them, the changes.
Yeah, the
Like,
Hound.
in the latest patch, no, I don't like the Hound at all, but, like, the other stuff, like, making the unlockables that were 50, they're now free.
Right.
So, with, like, Elite Spec, there are, like, so many more things that you can play.
Yeah, Elite Spec
It's,
is vastly
it is
better,
wonderful.
for sure.
Yeah, and, like, other things, like, when you have, like, a quick supply, you can now get, like, 2 Sabertooths on round 1, which is crazy. So it feels like much more fresh now.
Yeah, the game is
Than it has been in a long time.
Yeah, the game is vastly more fresh. I agree with that. Feels new again. Lots of new, like there's so much strategy exploration to do right now, right?
Very much so indeed.
Play with all the new things. Hello, hello. C, welcome in. Are you the only one that's having a hard time hearing Amaroq? Mike is close to me. shy. It does vary a bit. Okay. All right. I will try to move mouse, mic a little closer to mouth. Could conceivably up the low end. What is that filter called? Expander? Try this a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I can hear myself just fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Rhino. Okay. Guess what? Rhino and Fireball. Hello, hello, each other. They tanked each other forever. You're still in awe that I got partner without using my face. And never on my own stream. True. Although, I think my own stream was. I think DreamHack was on my stream and theirs. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember. I did direct call to their stream. Huh.
How are we going to defend the middle position? Do you have any ideas?
Against what?
Against whatever they are playing there. Like,
I mean, I can add. No, I don't have an idea. You?
I think I'm gonna go for like Mustangs now, so I will place one Mustang there. He will move the wasps away now, I believe, so they won't be there. Yeah. But they can still be there, I don't care. Is there any issue with my sound, like
No, your sound's great.
on your live stream? Eisenhorn, I am a cat, by the way.
Yeah. It's like he's right
This
next
I.
to you. And it's hard to hear me. They look like they're the same outbound. Right. Let's try the. No, that's too loud. Let's try that. How's that? Is it better? Caller is triple as loud as Amaroq.
the sound like scales with like how good you are at the game, so of course it's louder.
Check. How's that?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Check,
Can
check,
you guys
check.
hear me?
1, 2, 3. How's that, guys? Can you just make baller not that loud? I mean, I can, yes.
Yeah, please put it like down.
Is it generally a problem when I have somebody else on? It's better now? Okay. Rock just switched from shy mode to big boy mode. I just changed a filter. That's all.
All 4 of these are like very good options, at least for me.
Yeah,
So picking will be good.
my guy has not done much chaff, so I'm just gonna add Scorpion. Call it good.
Scorpions are always a good pick.
And there's a possible... Oh. He's got Jump Drive Fire Badgers. Who does Jump Drive Fire Badger?
I guess he can do it wherever he wants now, but I don't really see the reason.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Like, he wants you to commit on that flank and then, like, put them away, and then when you decommit, he will put them back there.
Exactly.
Like, annoy you, basically. You are Rhino there. It's the best counter against the flank. It's told in your live stream.
Yeah. No,
I don't think I agree with that, but it's a decent option. I should have been expecting the Scorpions, but for some reason I wasn't, so it's not looking good for me.
Wait, he took Scorpions against you, and it was a surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise, I just wasn't thinking.
See.
It's an easy game in my mind, so I'm not really like... I'm watching like YouTube at the moment, so... Now I might have to log in, yeah, maybe. I just need a couple more chaff in the right position so they won't be able to shoot what he wants, so then it will be fixed.
Oh, my guy added the melter, so we've got the...
Hell no. Nyt alkaa mennä vähän päin vittua, pakko sanoa. Getting subsidized Mustang after getting 4 packs is nice.
Yeah, a little painful for sure.
Can Sabers beat Scorpions when they're like shooting at each other, or is one better than the other?
If you're already in Scorpions, you just should be in better Scorpions than he does.
I'm in the Sabertooths too, so I have like 2 choices.
I see.
Scorpions is the answer, they have more range, but I am already into the Sabers, so... Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. Is there any way me or you could use your opponent's like fire badgers, like light an oil somewhere that would help us?
He's... I don't think so, no.
If I do something like this...
No, please don't.
Please no. It won't be beneficial for our
It will not
cause.
be beneficial
Okay.
for us, exactly.
Will would have been very good in that position, I have to say.
It would have been, yes, because he added the cheap Mustangs. But given what I was seeing, it would not have been. You can drop it now if you want.
You should have the ability to see the future, like,
I'm sorry.
honestly, man.
Yeah, I agree.
But we still win, so I can't be that mad.
You can be as mad as you want.
I want a lot. Mad isn't the word I was looking for, anyways. But laser sights, that is very good for me. And for everyone else, so it's nice. So we both have the Rhino. Is there any place we can, like, put them at the same time so they could, like, do more? Than just putting one singular place. There aren't, like, any good positions to put it. For the
Doesn't
Rhino, I don't
look like
see.
there's great, but outside behind my guy's tower might work.
Then that is the place where I will be putting it, yes.
Yeah, sweet.
Can't even speak anymore. Is there a reason you didn't put laser sights on anyone?
Yep.
Are you waiting for something else?
I wanted to see what melter he was putting his on.
Oh, okay. Two hundred, 400, 600. I think this is enough. Yeah, it's enough.
Well, great. Now I'll never know what melter he put it on. You jerk.
It was the middle one.
Oh, okay. That was my guess, because it was going to be level 2, but like, I had to make sure. All right. W's.
Another one.
Another one? You want another one?
DJ Khaled. With the best music. Okay. X and Pig are our opponents now.
X and ping. All right.
And it's Siege. I hope we are on the outside. We are on the outside. Let's go.
All right. Well then, speed specialist, right? Let's go. I'm not sure we can beat these guys because I don't want to have to face Kiddo and tell them that I beat Ping. Ping has been the name
What
of
or who is Ping?
the
Oh, yeah,
name
you are
of
telling.
these of Kiddo's favorite stuffed panda when they were like 6 years old.
Uh,
It's very cuddly, honestly.
like sometimes bad things happen to good people, so
It's not true. Bad things never get to happen to good people. Where my guy's gonna be? He's gone for 5 badger. Oh, 4 badger? Used his quick supply for 1 badger and 2 crawler.
okay.
No.
It was a pretty fast round on the side that you were on.
Yeah.
On your side.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
He had perfect locks.
No worries. I think we can all believe that such a good player like Amaroq can easily come back from a positioning like that.
Yeah, I'm just selling the sabers and going into a different unit. Done.
Yes. Yeah, and my side didn't go that well either, so...
Yeah, it happens. It's just round 1, right?
Smart Arclight!
Well,
Let's
hello,
go.
smart Arclight.
I am going Arclight carry, so that's very nice.
I was going to do a go-to, but that's fine. This might be an Arclight fort game then. Hello, Mystic Genie. Welcome in. Mystic Genie was my teammate that I was telling you guys about earlier. In that inaugural
The one you banned?
Baller, of course. Yes, the one that we banned, and then we the one that we banned, and then found ourselves teamed with. It was great. Thank you, Mystic Genie. A little bit of recovery, yes. Get insta-lock. We do. Yep, about the same result over here, but again, it will get better.
Yeah.
I'm just letting him feed his XP into his storms at the moment. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's the unit I don't care if he levels.
Yeah, the Stormcrawlers are so much in front, so in like the later game they won't be really doing anything.
Exactly. Yeah, it was kind of ironic and a little annoying that the our two losses were on compact, which I'm the best at, and our win was on siege, which I think of as the worst. But my guy has like no upshoot, so I'm taking the wraith. No, Queesh, this has been around forever. Yeah, break. Did I just do that? This is the... Well, I gave away the last one, Mystic Genie, so don't be too concerned. What that? Yeah, it's not new, it just that no one plays it exactly right. Let's have some things behind. He ranged those. That's the... So there are 3 2v2 formats, and that is one of them. The others are... or that is 2 of them, I guess. One of them is compact, one of them is normal sized. And then there's this one, which is, as you can see, a long central map. No, I did not go get the badge in America. Elite. I by that point it was 14th hour of stream, and I was just I went to bed. Well, no, I casted. Yeah, that went much better. He jabbed the jump drive wraith. But that does mean my guy has a jav later. Went for 1 marksman over there. Oh, one on each side. All right.
One phantom ray
Hmm.
survived from my opponent, and now it just kills everything.
All right. Well, I went down hard anyways, so. I'm going to agree with Reven about charged shot, which I think I can add at this point. Melter with range. Mine does not have range, but okay.
Thoughts and prayers, Amaroq, thoughts and prayers. Is this enough for us to lose?
I hope. I hope. Ugh. Nope. Okay, my misery is not over. All right. We got something else then. Ooh. Well.
Like, phone and range, we have
Course,
to pick
yeah.
now both,
Yeah.
as you might know.
From now on, I think.
pretty well-placed oil against my opponent. I might win this turn, finally.
Nice. Melter down.
You are winning finally too. Nice.
That's, not sure it's a sustainable W, but we'll see.
Yeah. Do you have enough extra money to like oil my opponent?
No.
No. Yeah,
You
I
need it in
was
the
kind
same
of thinking
spot.
that would be the answer.
You need it in the same
Like in the
spot.
same spot
Yeah.
where all of his stuff like is.
Okay.
We can see if there's anything like anything better. I don't need it. I have an iron blast.
Okay.
It can function the same way if I place it well. I don't think I will place it well, so it won't hit anything. Yeah, and my opponent can also pick the iron beam.
Yes.
I did not think of this.
Uh-oh. No money for shields?
I have air units, so like shields don't really matter. But I do like a mobile beacon.
Yeah, mobile beacon can help a lot.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, definitely. Well. Oh, bombards.
Like an aggro placement, your arc lights are like very far away from the line. Like coming far away. Kind of, they have to like bulk up to the
I did not want them in under the storm callers.
Well, I guess.
But it does not matter. I am dead.
I'm also dead, so yeah. Playing against Phantom Race is quite infuriating.
Like, that whole match was just infuriating. My initial positioning was terrible. My opponent basically had everything covered. Yes, the misery ends.
And the misery will keep going on. The game might be over, but I can still remember it.
Yes.
So.
Wait, delete this VOD. We're done. Run ad. Escape.
Minus 37 MMR. I lost everything I've gotten today.
Sorry, bro.
No worries. I will unpick Siege from these options now.
I mean, honestly, we need to practice it. Although, if your point is to grind,
we can practice it, I guess. But like, just a comment like about your like the Stormcaller positioning. Like a unit can be like 2 tiles away from the line and still like it cannot be shot by Stormcaller if the chaff positioning is good. They could have been a lot closer to the line without the fear of the Stormcallers.
right? But they were okay. They were originally behind the sabers that needed to get sold. And I wanted the sabers tanking so that the arc lights could get the experience. So
yeah,
that
I
kind
guess
of forced the whole issue.
Yeah.
If they had been any further forward, they'd have been dying in the first round, and they wound up dying in the first round anyways. So.
What the hell?
Mumbo Jumbo and Zach? What?
In compact?
All right. We can totally beat these guys.
All the good memories of the Fun Friday
It's a
matches
fun
are coming
Friday.
back.
Fun Friday on
Yes.
Sunday?
Fun Sunday. Why is the match not loading?
Somebody's got a slow PC.
Or Mambo Jumbo is again playing from like the middle of nowhere.
That could be, yes. Yeah, he could be playing off of a.
I got very good options. Well, well, well. Easy practice. I wouldn't say easy practice.
Of course, my guy has the perfect anti-hound open. And he's Typhoon, okay. How do you feel about a mid-push?
But I think it's a wonderful idea. Yeah, we can do a mid push. With the player who I was playing with in the tournament, I don't remember his name.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing like mid pushes also in most of our games in a compact.
So,
Like in all of our compact games. They worked pretty well, as you might, because we won it. So
yes, because you won it, indeed. For those of you who have joined mid-stream, we're doing some 2v2s with Baller. We've come up against, we're on ladder, but we came up against Zach and Mojembo. And Baller is wearing, well, I don't know if you're wearing it, but won the very first 2v2s tournament, Advanced Group 2. So congrats to him.
Group 2.
I know, and he's very upset that he was in Group 2 instead of the Advanced Group 1. But he was partnered with Red Scarab, who you guys will know here in Twitch as Red Scare.
Now I remember the name. Red Scarab.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't looking good for Mambo Jumbo and Zach.
Hello, hello, Titan. Welcome in. How are
Hello.
you? That was a nice mid push. I like it. I'm glad to hear it. Subsidized steel ball, intensive training. I want them all.
I would want them all, but since we're playing aggro, I want the economical advantage, so I just skipped. Economic, I don't know what's the word is, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. This is, it's an in-house that happened on ladder. No, it's we pure chance that we ran into them.
I don't think so. They are sniping.
You think they were sniping?
There must be.
Yes, he does love his good doggos, it's true.
I was supposed to go eating after our last match. On like round 1 in our last match, I was, come to eat! I heard from downstairs and I said that I would after the match, but now we are in another one because
Okay,
I
so
forgot.
remind you to bail after this one. Got it.
Yes.
My bad.
And if I
Well, we
randomly
couldn't-
leave this, you will know the reason.
I see, yes. Yes, Alpha
A
Type.
pretty early tech. Sorry.
Plan after Baller is mostly warming up for Journey. I was actually thinking I might review the winner of the Advanced Group 1, watch their 4 matches, and see if there's anything to learn. But if you're around, we can queue on ladder instead, or we can study those games together. Yeah, hopefully we have enough time to do all of that. LeBron for President 2028. Exactly. Let's go. All right. I took the Phoenix to put over top of the mini steel balls. Did you guys throw down flames? Oh, he's throwing
The
oil
Phantom
off the
Rays are
phantoms.
turning oil.
Cool. I'll turn on my doggos to let the fires out. Oh, level 3 Phoenix tastiness for your Mustangs. I love it.
Very much so.
Thanks for the XP, bro. Oh, I see Zach does his mini Vulcan thing. I know, baller named baller. What has the world come to?
I'm running like the real name now because I want to get more into like the tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're placed there by like a merit and how much people know you, if you change your name like every day and you beat people, they won't know it's the same person and they won't like know that you're actually like a better player. So make a name for
Yay!
yourself is kind of the reason, I guess.
He's finally found an identity. Let's go.
I have not,
No. Oh, okay.
but it's like yeah. And if I want to play 2v2s with someone and I have like a stupid name on,
Yeah.
they're like, who the hell are you? I have to like explain it every time. It gets annoying at a certain point.
I know it is my alert. So this happens. What is going on here? Alright, that is what's going on. So what happens there, of course, is that I have to, Eisenhorn, I have to turn streamer mode off to send somebody the Discord invite. So if the mods do the Discord invites, then I am, then it's fine. If they don't, then it's, a little less fine, I guess.
Eat the Mustangs. Eat the Mustangs, please.
Alright. Do I need to know anything about that last round? Oh, the oil just wrecked him, right? Know anything about that last? Okay.
Yes. Why did I click range on the wasps? Why did I click range on the wasps? Now I don't have any money. A fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
Wood banned me off of his channel. I can't watch him anymore. And it wasn't even my fault actually. Remember the FFA tournament that was like a week back?
Yep.
He said some stuff about me that I like found funny and annoying at the same time. So I went to his chat and I typed STFU, and
Oh
he
no.
just banned me immediately. Like he was talking shit about me, you know, like it was only a comeback.
Right, but
You
if he
don't have to
doesn't
ban me for
recognize
that, you
that
know.
Baller is LeBron, yeah.
He does. He does.
Oh, he knows? Okay.
He does. The fire is kind of killing my Mustangs. It's just putting fire everywhere.
Well, he is, and I am, so whole board on in
You
flames.
are also.
Of course.
Yeah. But some survive, which is enough.
Hey, you even had wasps survive. Let's go.
Somehow my shield bubble survived also.
Perfect.
Wow. Wow.
Do you want me to stop lighting the ground on fire at the mid, or do you want me to continue doing that?
I continue doing it.
Okay.
The Mustangs aren't really even moving there.
Okay, got it.
It's more the fire that's coming to my side from my opponent.
Right.
Which I was complaining about.
Perfect. Beautiful. Make it so.
I am winning my side, but I'm clicking like tower wrench every round and he isn't. So when he eventually will do it, I think I will lose.
Right, you're gonna have problems. Got it. Lone range speed
We are
from here.
getting to a low HP. Yeah, low range speed from here. A level 6 Rhino with armor in the middle is kinda unkillable if the Phoenix doesn't shoot at it. So I'm playing it. So the Vulcan won't be shooting at the Mustangs.
Uh-huh, love it.
Happy.
Wish I had infinite money. But you just rush up and die in fire, right? Nobody really even shoots you, I bet.
Which who?
I was looking at a crawler, a specific crawler.
He had the same idea with the armored Rhino.
So did my guy. Literally everybody has thrown out armored
Everybody.
rhinos.
I wish I had EMP on my snipers still.
I do too right
Yeah,
now.
right.
I'm looking at mine going, why did I take that off?
We are supposed to beat these guys.
I know we are. Don't worry. Get this. Get all of his outside Mustangs? You need it further back, or?
I don't know. That really won't hit his Mustang since they have so much range. I will just put it in the middle, maybe. He might shield it, but that other position I don't like.
I just wanted the whole, like, they, if you mobile beacon your wasps down and away, those Mustangs will have to come forward into it, right?
I guess.
The any one crawler would light it on fire for the Vulcan. That was why I had it here, so you could do a crawler on the line if you wanted.
My round is over. I
see.
clicked already like 60 seconds ago.
Got it.
The oil was lit in fire.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have gone down hard to anti-missile right now. I need a different chaff clear. Oh, I have lost.
we have lost.
No, I lost that one.
We lost it. I have to go. I have to go eat now.
Yes,
It
go
was
eat.
fun
Enjoy.
games.
Need
Minus 100 MMR, fun day. Let's go.
Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, so Titan, the problem is, of course, that I got up at 3:45 in the morning for the Asia, so I'm on very little sleep and not playing the bestest. And then the guy I got up to play it with didn't no-showed on me, so sigh.
Oh no.
Yeah, the decision making is a little poor right now. So let me make
Wow,
myself
that's
a
really sad.
let me make myself a breakfast and grab some coffee. Coffee will help, I think.
Sure.
We've got 2 hours. We'll click in. Do you just want to watch the Egg 1 plus the more all the way through? Just take all 4 of their replays and see what they did? That's probably
Yeah,
right.
let's watch the winners in each of the various map modes.
Yep.
And get an idea of how them and their opponent, obviously. So we'll get essentially 6 takes.
Yep. Sweet.
And then go from there. And that shouldn't take more than 45 minutes probably, unless there's like something to break down, in which case it was time well spent.
Right, exactly. All right. I've got those downloaded.
I'll download them as well on my end, so we can both be looking at it in real time, and we can chat about it in the stream.
I'm going to go grab coffee and such. So we will run, I believe, we'll run a bit of an ad break, and be right back. Yes, Durgun, we're going to take a look at the winners of Advanced Group 1. We're going to watch their 4 games and kind of analyze them together.
Yes, Dorgon. On Sundays now, there's 2v2 tournaments at the same times as there are on Saturday for each of the time zones. Okay. So did you end up playing in the Asian Amaroq, or did you just end up watching? What did you do since you got your partner
Oh,
wasn't there?
I played in the Advanced Group 1 or Advanced Group 2 even. Went 1-1 or 2-2 with Mystic Genie. So.
Okay.
Oh
You
hey,
got to play.
Knicks are overrated. See yo, got smacked by you in 2v2 2 days ago. Was an honor. Hey, welcome in, man. Nice to see you. And there's a follow. Thank you very much. Zach, welcome in. I'm looking forward to the run through on 2v2s. I'm going to change the stream title so people can know.
Right.
And say review and analysis.
Looks like there were 4 rounds.
Yes, there were 4 rounds. I'll let me set let me set stuff for you. Give me one moment. I'm gonna go with we've run into that one. Knicks are overrated. In fact we ran into it back-to-back games at one point. One of them was a easy loss to it, and the second was an easy win because we knew almost exactly what was coming when we saw the initial formation. We were like, oh yeah, we just saw that. So, okay. Welcome in, folks. We are going to be doing a review of Weekend Tournament Asia 2v2s, Advanced Group 1, and we're going to take a look at the eventual winners. So congrats to Mag1 and the More. We're going to take a look at their 4 matches. So the way this works, the way the 2v2 tournament worked is Bear Lake did the analysis, knows that Compact is people's favorite. So there are 2 matches on Compact, and the final will be on Compact. So your round 1 and round 4 matches will be on Compact. Round 2 was on normal, round 3 was on Siege. So you do have to have won on all 3 map types to claim yourself a champion, but you get to win on Compact twice. As it turned out, when in my tournament run, we lost twice in that. We really don't need you there. So, looking at their round 1 match.
Yes.
And please forgive me, I was up at Zach. No, it's like a mini tournament. It's the exact same format as a mini tournament. You can go 0-4 and not be eliminated. It's 16 teams, not 8 teams. So we've got Mag1 and the More, far side red, Rhino Specialist and Training Specialist, blue on the near side, our Missile Specialist, and we'll see in a moment.
Is there anything specific that you noticed was happening a lot, just from your single sampling?
No. I had Bellicose Drake's stream up so I could watch a second set of matches, second set of eyes.
Right.
And it was pretty much chaotic. It looked like there were we ran into somebody who was like, "What is this?" when the Sage map came up. And
boy!
And then got salty that they had lost on it. Yeah, it was like, okay, fine.
So people have no clue what to play yet. The meta is completely open in terms of defining strats.
The 1v1 meta is wide open right now because people haven't figured out Hound, and
that's also
how
true.
It changes everything, let alone the 2v2 meta.
Right, let alone the 2v2 implications of that, other than in general fast-paced due to twice the possible damage on board.
Except people don't even know that, so...
Oh, wow. Okay, well then, spicy.
Yeah, it's very spicy. Okay.
Lots of doggos?
No, there was... literally, I'm telling you, what I've observed, there was no dominant strat. I'm going into this with an open mind to analyze this set of 4 games. Talk us through it. What are you seeing right now? I've got an outside push from the More on the right.
completely outside. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're almost abandoning middle together, other
Mm-hmm.
than one arc light to make sure fast crawlers don't get them, which is my assumption for why it's there.
Right. So this looks very similar to the way that we would play it. Outside, a little
Hmm.
bit of center mid protection. Outside, I'm kind of surprised at Mag 1's being so deep with the steel balls, but it looks like it's working, so...
Yes, at the moment it's just kind of almost outside headbutts from the Mag 1 team,
Mm-hmm.
red team. I'm not seeing anything else noteworthy per se. It's round 1. We haven't seen a whole lot of reaction yet.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think is being slept on categorically is the power of 50 cost unlock scorpions.
Right.
I think that they are low-key a super powerful tool, even as early as round 2 potentially, but round 3 without losing any tempo.
Right. I have sped up. We're on round 2. We're,
Okay.
we don't know what they're picking from, but Mag 1 took subsidized arc.
Right.
Econ play it, much like Flower Fairy would have done.
And with the strength of Arclights, Arclight cards are almost you never skip if they're an option. You don't necessarily always take them if something is better, but it's almost a never skip in my mind.
Moore skipped it. Blue has taken it. And the Moore skipped it, of course, because they're in tarantulas. They don't care about our
Right.
I bet everybody
Already
else
got
will
your
take
commit.
it. Right side blue should take it. He's got 3 of them already. Well, maybe he doesn't want to go Arclight carry.
Right.
So he might.
You already have 3.
Decision. Yeah.
Because you're paying $100 for the card, so you have to take 3 before it's profit.
Right. He takes the anti-interference module.
Okay. That can be really strong in 2s, particularly if you know that you might lose your center position.
Right.
That's actually something else that I think makes a lot of sense.
Right. Yeah, it is much more valuable in 2s than it is in 1v1. Okay, so the Moore leveled up a Tarantula and built Chaff. Mag 1 built 3 Arclights and ranged them with the subsidized Arc card. Blue right went with a defensive flank for the cast pull. And
notably, Mag 1 sold out of one of those steel balls, so the deep play was for temporary value and was not planning on leveraging them.
Right.
That tarantula pull at the corner front was absolutely brutal for completely going from losing to winning that round. And Mag 1 already took range on his arc, so he doesn't quite have like the full board yet, but those are in a position to begin scaling. He paid the investment.
Right. We can see how this one's going to end. I'm going to speed it up to 2.0.
Yes.
So, Tomsy, we are watching all 4 matches of the eventual champions. This is their match 1. The way that the tournament format was structured, match 1 was on... slow down. Back to 1.0. Yep. Match 1 was on compact. Match 2 was on standard, normal, whatever they call that. Match 3 was on siege, and then the final was on compact. Unit reinforcements, we've seen a Wasp, a Melter, and a Phoenix.
Maybe we'll get to see all 4 options.
Yeah. Multi-melt was actually pretty prevalent in terms of things that my opponents ran against me.
Okay. So that might have been a your board vulnerability. Was it working when they did so, or
Mm,
did you win those rounds?
both times it was my partner was forcing something onto their board by crossing mid that was heavily vulnerable to it, and so they're kind of
So they invited it.
that my partner invited it. And,
Gotcha.
It wound up working pretty well.
By the way, obviously we know that high level tarantulas early can be bullies, and I think that intensive with tarantula is one of the strongest combo starts for an aggro tempo because of that, because you can circumvent the 23% increased leveling threshold.
Right. Intensive and intensive and tarantula became 23% stronger by virtue of being
Right.
yeah.
Right. The value of it
Yep.
in terms of the experience.
Yeah, the relative value is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Also, Arclights eat hounds hard,
Yes, they
particularly
do.
when the Arclights have range. So if you're like this left side board is going to struggle long term if they don't pick a different chaff unit.
Right. What's the best chaff for slowing down a hound?
For slowing a hound,
Yeah, what's
in my opinion, sledge. It's like
no,
honestly,
no, not the what do I beat with it? What's my you actually mean that as this is the chaff for it? Because like sledge beats it hard. It's not chaff for
That's
it.
true.
It's actually a counter to it. I was thinking like what 100 cost unit are you throwing out at it? Which one does it take the longest to clear?
I would assume it's going to be crawlers.
And loose formation, maybe?
Right, it would be loose formation so that it's like an Arclight in the sense that it kind of relies on its splash.
Mm-hmm.
Fangs die to it hard unless the Fangs are ranged, because Fangs do outrange them. So Hound loses to carry Fang. But in terms of if it's being treated as chaff, Hound kills Fang. Hound kills Fangs that are non-carry very quickly.
But carry Fang would lose to carry Hound with armor. And fire. Like, if you pit the two of them against each other and you're going triple tax, I think I would take the Hound.
I don't know. That's high tempo for round 4. But it's 2v2, so that's to be expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. This is something you might not take in 1v1, but in 2v2, you're definitely taking this because the game's going to end by round 8 when it comes back, right? If you don't
or round 6 if it's faster.
Right. If you don't take it, you're in danger of getting tempoed out on round 6, right?
Right. Also, for a 2v2 tournament, I'm going to be taking Efficient off the bar on my War Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I do run it in ones because it's, I wouldn't say often worth it, but often enough that it's worth one of the 6 slots. But in 2s, you just never have time to click it and it pay for itself.
Right. It's actually off my bar full stop, even for ones.
That's understandable. So ultimately, I like the birds as a counter to Melter, but the birds have no range, which is shocking to me because they could answer the arcs and the melters. Birds are one of the best counters to a Melter board long-term agenda.
Right.
And that center ion beam was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, those are all really well placed. All 3 ions are really beautiful. You can definitely see the skill and expression in Ion Beam.
Yes. And the oil to slow them down and the ion as well, which will then stick around, was another way to clump up and just... Yeah, that was a learn how to use your tempo plays for a counterpunch.
Yep. All right, we get to round 5. What are we going to get? Farseer for the Moor, Phantom Ray 3X for Mag 1,
Triple of them.
Triple Sledge for blue left, and Farseer for blue right. So Sledge, of
Red
course.
saved one of its ions for a repeat mid.
Nice.
That's another thing you can do, is if there's one key place for a spell,
Right.
back-to-back use can be really, really powerful.
I actually really love that. On the round that the Farseers drop, we are going ranged aerial spec Wasp. We already had a Wasp, so that one's getting missiled out.
Range on the birds comes down.
Right. We knew that was coming.
Right.
The sledges are the slowdown for both the Arc and the Melter.
Yep.
Drop.
Notably, Mag 1 sold one of the Phantom Rays, so it's a bit of a air value / econ hybrid play.
Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful, though. I mean, this board is so elegant in terms of, like, there are 2 carry units and chaff. Even the Phantoms are chaff.
Right.
They're just chaff for the Phoenix. Nothing else. And one of those AA Wasp packs comes mid.
Oh my goodness.
Ion Beam was devastating.
Yes, it was. I really want to see Mag 1 drop Charge Shot on his arcs next round. Because there were times where the arcs were taking 5 or 6 shots to kill something there. And I think that will rapidly accelerate his ability to push forward.
Yeah, in my game against towns with arcs, that turned out to be over expensive for a fight I was winning anyways.
Okay.
And it leaves you very vulnerable to the follow-up. And now there's wide formation crawlers, and all of a sudden your Arclights are no longer even targeting the hounds. So you're not getting the benefit of being charged shot. So it's a trap. It's a definite trap. Like you're absolutely right that it makes, just 1 for 1, it makes them better against the hound. But if they are your only chaff there, like they are for Mag 1, I think it's contraindicated to go charged shot on them. Except
with as many sledges as there are, that's another reason I think that the charge would be valuable, because then they're almost, especially at level 2, they're virtually one-tapping the level 1 tanks, as opposed to 2 to 3 shots apiece.
Right. And he's got them unsubsidized, so, if somebody throws
he
down
can spam them out.
If somebody threw down 750 worth of crawlers to loose formation crawlers, you'd be able to just buy 3 more Arclights for 150.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Even eluding them and paying $100 a pop, and suddenly you can just absolutely control the field.
Plausible. Moore takes another intensive. Yikes.
Almost everyone does, wow.
Yeah. And Mag 1 goes for a nano repair for one of the melters.
Oh my goodness. He goes for the anti-air on Arc. I think that's a big mistake. Gonna give the opponent the ability to distract you in 2 directions, and then you'll never clear the chaff, and there's the triple mass recruit Arc, and he took
to clarify.
Wait,
stop. To clarify, what we were seeing visually at the moment that Titan said that was elite marksman showing up on Mag 1's arc lights. What Alpha was speaking to was what had happened moments before, which was left side blue taking anti-air on his arc lights. You didn't give a pronoun, so it was unclear which way that was going, and the visual would have been confusing to the audience. We've got more Wasps. The Wasps are now triple tech with jump drive, so they've got speed. and gets them out of any ion beamness, missile strike-ness, whatever. Love that. Right side blue has tried forts. That's where so that is the answer, I think, to this tarantula push that's been developing. He's like, you're going to get stuck on my darn forts, and you're going to sit there forever. But by this point, it's over, right? The melters are going to hard counter those forts, and the whole rest of the board is happening on the other side of the map. So he's kind of over-invested, and now his little cast-pull flank is actually setting the tarantulas up to arrive late and clear the chaff anyways, at kind of different depths. Wasps get the middle towers.
The last piece of the puzzle, I think, for Mag 1's board is to range his fangs and get some late fangs that trickle in by this stage of the fight.
Yeah.
That way his early chaff survives and his late chaff arrives on time, and I think that his board will be completely perfect for countering both of his opponents.
Yep. I've actually been considering whether we want to run crawler summoning for this late third section of the match, and the fact that hounds can clear up fire, which is what had made crawler summoning pretty useless. They were just going to get summoned and run off into flames, but now that can get cleaned up.
What do you drop for it? That's the kicker.
Mm-hmm. That is the question. Mag 1 drops blue down to 1630. Looks like round 7 is likely to be the last round of this one. You'd be in lone range speed at this point. Like, absolutely. In a 2v2, at this stage of the game is late game, right? You've
100%.
Gotta get that under your skull and not be skipping lone range speed at this point. Electromagnetic impact, sure, for both blue and Mag 1. We're going to bring down bubbles, barriers, whatever. Obviously, the Moor should be taking it because we assume those forts are going to have something. And yeah, you can see he's aimed it straight into. I'm going to hit both shield bubbles and 2 of the arc lights. Smoke in the middle of the board, blue.
Actually, it kind of makes sense if that's where you expect. Yes, because you think you're winning your side and fighting your opponent's remainder, and where there won't be shields.
Right, there is no shield there, that's for sure. And of course, he's taken anti-air barrage. We are into Vortect Wasps. That makes good sense. If he doesn't shield bubble, he's going to get other oil, right? The team can take 2 different oils. And this time out, it'll be... Well, he gets a shield up. That shield will have 5,000 hit points instead of 35 or 40,000, but better than nothing. Also, why have we not sold out of the wasps at this stage? If you're not going to tech them, they're just feeding XP to opponents, triple tech to AA wasps. So one thing to notice, this level 2 fort missed the wasps with its AA barrage. The AA barrage fires when the wasps enter 100 and, I think it's 170 meters now. Range.
Oh, is it?
I think, right? Yeah, 170 meter range.
Okay.
And if the wasps have much shorter range than that, they will move to stop. Or they will move to where they stop, and the missile goes to wherever they were when they fired. So that is something to be aware of. If you can make your wasps dodge that first volley, you don't necessarily need to tank it with something else. Blue have stabilized, and that smoke has not helped them. The fight hasn't really been in it. Arc lights with elite marksman instead of charged shot, because they are should be hyperscaling as you know, by virtue of what they're feeding on.
But this point, if Mag 1 gets more chaff, I think they're going to be in a really, really strong position.
We'll take a barrier for one of the melters, sure. Additional deployment slot for blue left. Advanced missile for blue right, and a skip again for the Moor. It goes straight into a War Factory finish. That'll be War Factory anti-missile, I presume.
Yeah.
Keep the bird, keep the air game alive. And note how well Alpha Titan is called the mini Fang arriving, and now they've got shield, late Fang even. So he's gotten to the late mid Fangs, boom boom, and late Fang, which is almost exactly what Alpha Titan called for.
They hadn't thought about Arc Melter per se, but Arc Melter Fang.
It's a combo.
I think might even be. I think it's the new take on Melter Mustang, because your Fangs can still shoot up, and your arcs are so strong these days that
right.
If you're picking a chaff clear supplement that is better in the early game and can compete meaningfully in the mid to late game,
right?
Unless your opponent just feeds your Mustangs early.
Yeah, and
that's
we have talked about how to construct a comp. So to refresh for those watching at home,
yes,
how to construct a comp, you're going to want 4 things. You want a chaff unit, so your crawler or your fang or your pound at this point, sure. Something that you don't care if it dies, it runs out, it takes the shots from the Phoenix, for example. We're wasting 3,300 damage and an EMP shot on a singular crawler that had 318 hit points. Great. That's exactly what you want. Your secondary thing is Wasp Clear. We saw a zillion wasps on the Moors board, so this is a very good example of why you need Wasp Clear. If you don't have Wasp Clear, wasps get out of control and win games. The third thing you need, so on, let's say, back to Mag 1's board, the Fangs are the Wasp Clear, right? Blue left can't drop a whole bunch of wasps on the board. Ooh, that's close. That is close.
That's what... Double ion on the Melter side was painful.
Yeah. But not a knockout. And Red have their ion back this round.
Exactly.
Third thing you need is chaff clear. So obviously for the Moor, that's the tarantulas. For the left side of the board, that is both players have arc lights. And guy down here, I think, is relying on some arc lights, some Mustangs, and some farts here. We're seeing some Scorpions taken. That's going to be good shield break. This Raiden would be really terrible for blue left because it's awful into shield fangs. And Mag 1 is going to take some Fire Badgers. Interesting.
Okay.
Is this more just tank chaff, or is he going to light ground on fire?
It's got to be... I think he's going to do ground fire. I will say, for Mag 1 particularly, I think ranged Fang would have been better than shield Fang. Because I think that there are so many things that are shooting at the same spot that the shields are kind of melting all at once, whereas the range would delay their engage. So I think this is an example where that would have been stronger.
Right. One more super late Fang. We've got a ion beam. We've got the oil to light, as you called. We have jump driven all the wasps over here and sold and then rebought at the factory at level 2 using one of the intensives. It's using one of the intensives. He could have gotten it at level 3 if he really wanted. And we're going to leave the right side of the board with Acid Scorps from Siege Mode.
Interesting.
And just let those forts walk into the Siege Mode and
have
problems.
Kind of like your anti-giant version of the Vulcan set the board on fire and run away tactic.
Right. And
yeah, now this Melter board just pops hard.
Right. We ion beam to the far left. We fired the far left, and every single key unit has survived. To face the Rydens, the few forts that are left. Forts are not summoning fangs, so they have no hope of surviving this many melters, with or without the presence of the EMP. And like we said, we've got the fangs for anti-wasp. And you can see how useless melters are at killing wasps, right? Even multi-melt is not efficient at clearing wasps.
Right.
There are many better ways to do it.
That fort, by the way, has the anti-interference module, which is why it was putting up a fight in the midst of the barrage, but obviously 5 melters is enough.
Yep. And 5 melters will be 1,500. Drops these guys down to, well, under, because there is a surviving, I think that was a surviving, what was it in there? It wasn't one of the tarantulas. It would have been maybe some of the.
Was it Arc?
Yeah, it could have been this Arclight, I think. Red Arc.
So they came dangerously close to losing their first round, like by skin of their teeth winning.
That is a comeback and a half, and let's point out the reason they came close to losing is not playing that Ion on round 4.
Yes.
Skipping it to do
saving it
4 and 5, which does let them win 9 hard because they have it, but it's what almost cost them, right?
Their plan was to win before the Ions came back, I think. So the fact that they made it to 8 made it a poor tactical call in the early game.
Right.
Because if you win before they come back online, then being able to stagger them for maximum value early pays off. As it stands, they survived the brutal comeback turn with the double Ions, and then they were able to hard pivot.
Right. And that double Ion could have been even worse if a new spell had shown up on round 8.
Sure.
Right, because the Ions are going to burn through the bubbles, and then there would be like
exactly,
a storm or orbital that's just pounding all of your chaff. All right, that is game 1 done. We will move through to game 2. Game 2 will be on the normal map against
that's right,
Fury and Chemtrails. So Fury and Chemtrails. Fury is Hackerman on the left. Fury and Chemtrails are going to be near side blue. Mag 1 and the Moor will be far side right. And it's difficult to visualize the entirety of a 2v2 normal map. So
yes, it is.
We'll give you the best camera views we can, but please be a little patient with us. Don't know exactly the best way to film this yet.
I'll do my best to try and focus where you're not, so that way I can at least keep us appraised off camera.
Well, that might be more confusing for the viewer. Let's
Fair.
talk one board and talk the other board, I think. Probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
And then we'll try to find an angle to watch the fight happen. In fact, the angle to watch the fight happen might be blue to red this way.
Right.
All right.
Looking on the left pair of boards, the Saber Arc is a great opener, I think, into Steel Ball Hound.
And that's elite Marksman for Fury, into Supply Specialist for Mag 1.
Yes.
On what's the near side board, Chemtrails left, Typhoon Specialist, coming out aggro on the far outside. And the Moor, oh baby, Aerial Specialist, Field Recovery, sold his Saber, because he does not want his Saber going into the Steel Balls. So sells the Saber to get up to 300. Free unlock as Aerial Specialist. Brings out the round 1 Wraith.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. That was the very first game of my first stream of Wraith. Was Round 1 Wraith. Let's go. But there's no upshoot on this side of the board. The far side of the board, also no upshoot, so that's a guaranteed win for red.
Yes, it is.
And
And that's going to be helpful because his partner, the left side board, struggles potentially depending on how the engagements go. So having something guaranteed to clean up both surviving boards is nice to have.
right. So let's take a closer look at the Mag 1 versus Hackerman board. Mag 1 does have these steel balls. The hounds are pretty good at clearing up the level 2 crawlers, and that is going to feed them some experience if you wanted to go some kind of carry hound. But of course all the steel balls are deleted. The Sabertooth is good at that if it's protected well, and the level 2 crawlers bought plenty of time. So Fury wins round 1. On the other side, the poor Wraith has been left far behind with the steel balls running away, but now everybody's coming back to them. Shall we go to 2.0 speed? Have fun, Mr.
I
Wraith.
do believe.
Have fun. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. Where you guys
I
at?
don't know if they get enough to level up, though. That's the $1 million question.
Hi, guys. We'd like to play now. Can we play with you? Do.
It did.
Nice. Levels we go. Congrats, Wraith. Well played. Welcome back to 1.0 speed. Farseer for her Fury. Near side left, or near side, left side far, I guess. Farseer for Chemtrails, also left side. Mag 1, the far side right, and a more near side right.
Farseer is a great drop because it gives you something that can shoot up, but a level 2 Wraith is going to still be slow to kill.
The Moor takes a level 2 Tarantula, which will clean up... Nope, did we sell it? Or did we place it somewhere else?
He was thinking about using it in the corner, and then now it's back.
Yeah, I see. He jumped it around, moved it down here, moved it back there. Mag 1, given it plenty of thoughts. Hello, Ignatius Pennyfeather. Welcome in. Also takes the... what do you call it? Takes the Farseer. So, Ignatius Pennyfeather, we are reviewing the Asia Tournament titleists, which are Mag 1 and the Moor. Just kind of watching their run. It's a 4-round tournament with compact, normal, siege for the semifinals, and then back to a compact for final. So blue is counting
Mag
on
1.
the Farseer beating the level 2 Wraith. What do you have down on the other side, Beth?
Mag 1 added more hounds.
Yep.
So into the Arclight Sabertooth.
Yeah.
And just loading those hounds up.
Right.
It's going to struggle mightily in the early game. So I'm curious to see what direction. If I had to call it, I'm predicting that it's going to be a hacker play. So I'm expecting it to turn into Hacker Hound.
Right.
The Wraith did go down on the Moor's side of the field.
Yeah.
To that Farseer.
And that Farseer will have pretty close to leveled, but then the Tarantula is the survivor. I'm going to go to 2.0 speed for the finish here.
Yes. Did the Farseer get the level or no?
I didn't check it.
Okay. We'll see soon enough. Let's see.
Yeah, the Farseer did level off the level 2 Wraith.
Nice.
Now has a heavy armor from the Moor. Heavy armor also for Mag 1.
Heavy armor is so much value with unit drops whenever a carry comes up. It offers so much value, particularly early on. And it's also not too expensive.
Yeah, it is a huge, 50 cost, well, 100 cost because you're skipping the
Right.
skip, right? But it is a huge bump. It used to be 100% extra hit points. It's now 80% extra hit points. Fury, apparently, following the dictate, see orbital, take orbital, is going to give it an orbital bombardment to
Wow.
to Mag 1.
Orbital is also really hard to skip, especially with the tempo heavy. So Mag 1 and the more are playing the long game.
And Wraith on a second Wraith added for more. And there is a flank happening back here. There's also flank wasps on an unprotected tower. So, flank shenanigans mid. There is a new Farseer on that side.
Yes, there is. And it's worth pointing out, especially in this format of 2v2, when you flank on the interior side, you can then beacon that to either opponent, and you can kind of force coverage on two reactions that way.
There's also a whole bunch of pull shenanigans that can happen with that.
Yes, which can really mess with your chaff, or even aggro for primary carry units, depending on what's being manipulated.
Yeah, depending what got manipulated and where it started.
Mm-hmm. Hackerman not having any upshoot means these wasps are going to really help defend the surviving damage.
And the Moor won their side and has chaff clear available for the crawlers. So that's
nice.
Just going to funnel XP to this tarantula. Basically,
there is a Farseer.
One of the things on a 2v2 board to be aware of is that your units, you kind of want to be countering your diagonal opponent's late surviving units. And by that I mean, Titan and I have won some games where, my opponent is heavy beating me with Mustangs, and the answer was light the board on fire because
yes,
Titan can counter everything else on the board other than the carry Mustangs. So light the ground on fire. Even though I'm dying, I'm killing the key units that Titan can't beat. Right? It becomes less about how do I win my side and more about how do I ensure that my partner can win my side.
Yeah. You can't always win if you're being beaten, but you can almost always pick one thing to kill at the expense of everything else. And if you can plan that accordingly, then it's sometimes good enough in 2v2.
Right. And in particular, that's because there are units that hyperscale, and the XP gain is basically calibrated for the 1v1 maps. And on a 2v1, essentially on a 2v1 or 2v2, where the catty corner opponents are winning matches, you are feeding XP into each other. So you can get to a point where this board and this board will always win. Right? This board is too far behind in terms of XP to catch up to the hyperscale.
Yep.
This board is too far behind this board to catch up to the hyperscale. And you have to be cognizant of that. You can't just keep chasing, well, eventually it's going to come good. Because there are some boards that will come good in a 1v1 if you just, pour into them. But in a 2v2,
you can just hang on.
In a 2v2 where they're continuing to farm additional XP, they're gonna keep outscaling you. Because one of the limits in 1v1 is that the higher leveled units are gaining piddling amounts of XP from the level 1s that can't beat them, right? So the level 1s get a bit of a match boost, if you will, because eventually, if they can kill a level 2 or a level 3, all by ganging up, the survivors will gain a whole huge chunk of XP that should help them level. But if the level 3s and level 4s are continuing to level because they're facing the level 3s and level 4s from this diagonal board, then it just goes really far south. On this near side board, the Moor has taken the Scorpions, and Chemtrails has taken a Phoenix, along with his Typhoon, which was his specialist, has arrived on round 4. So, having lost pretty hard last round, he's got a good thing going, right up until, you know, he winds up facing the level 3 Tarantula with heavy armor, the level 3 Saber, and, yeah, then it starts going poorly again.
He's got some birds left to clean that up, and there's no more upshoot. So
How did the other side go? Came down to just the
honestly, the
Farseers?
hounds did much better. He added more hounds, and honestly, he's just got a massive hound line, and the sheer number of them is thinning the opponent's board.
Right.
I'm really curious what he's going to add with them, because I don't see them scaling enough to beat an Arclight board in the long term.
I've seen them scale to beat a Carry Fang. I've seen them scale to beat forts. But that's with items and a full commit. So,
right.
And of course, and at my level, right? Not this level.
Also right.
So, this is the normal map. So, it's a 2v2 map with 2 normal boards, basically perfectly side by side. So, there's a middle flank. It's not the one we normally play on. The one that you're used to seeing us play on a lot is compact. And we are currently analyzing round 2 of the Asia 2v2 tournament today. Fury has taken a nano repair. What's that going to go on, do you think?
Feels like something he would hold. He doesn't have a unit for it. I guess he can put it on his Farseer for now if he plans to keep it. It is tanking hound damage, which is steady as opposed to burst.
Mm-hmm. Makes some sense.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that Farseer gets sold at some point for something better as a drop or something as a home for it.
Right. Chemtrails took the steel balls with range.
That surprises me because I feel like air is the counter to his opponent's board right now. I would really have liked to see a commit harder into Phoenix with all of these single target, sabers and tarantulas.
Yep. And
so I think going ground is inviting more counter.
And the counter is a pair of Raiden for the more. So he's in a, Scorpions and Sabers to clean up the big ground, Splash Tarantula to make sure the chaff gets cleared, and then the Raidens for knocking out the steel balls before they can really do anything, because they are stuck at level 1, they're not getting anything killed. So the Raidens are great. Right. They one-shot them. They'll kill 3 out of the pack of 4 on their first shot. And yeah, they're through everything already.
Yeah, that went really rough.
Nothing left over here. Wait, I lied.
On this side.
There's 2 steel balls. What's going on that side?
So hounds are just used numbers now. The Farseer that got the nano repair
did live to the end.
Huh.
Yeah.
It did on their side, but then died under tower debuff.
Right. So Mag 1 is running level 2 and level 3 hounds with range, and the opponent is running level 2 Arclights with range, but hasn't gone to charged shot, doesn't even run charged shot, so can't go to charged shot. Also isn't running elite marksman. So it's kind of limited as far as how much further he can go. And that might be
These are super utility arcs.
Yeah, that might be part of why Mag 1 committed into this. That was an opportunity that was being presented by the Arclight bar.
I also really think that they are super behind on raw deploys. Ultimately, I just feel like I don't really know what Hackerman's money has been going into, but it feels like he has an almost empty board by comparison.
Now it's a nano level 2 sandworm to go next to the nano level 2 Farseer. So he's going to wind up in double nano repair sandworms is where we're going, I think. The steel balls now have heavy targeting, which is going to help them against the Raidens not at all.
Yep. It's also, them again.
Yeah, it's also not going to help against the Sabers, because the Sabers don't need to close. The Sabers will be at 95 meters. The steel balls will only be at 85 meters. And as long as drip crawlers are arriving, these steel balls will never get to target. There is going to be a Overlord with nano repair and shin gun.
Okay.
Shin gun doesn't seem to help against the Raidens, but okay. Maybe if we can win the ground.
I will say Nano on an Overlord is much better than it used to be with the higher health by being a bigger, beefier giant.
Right. So side by side overlords get a huge benefit.
Raidens aren't that great at single target unless they have their do percentage health, and then they kind of want something to do fast damage while they do chunk damage.
Hey, Go Dog Mag 1 with the follow right now. Hello, hello. We are taking a look at you guys right now. We're reviewing your match and discussing your
Wanted to
round.
see what worked.
Exactly. It's your honor to be analyzed, and congratulations on round or very first ever Advanced Group 1 championship. Well done, sir.
Yes.
So, Go Dog, Mag 1 left, is actually top right in the way that we're looking at this board. The more your partner's bottom right, Chemtrails bottom left, Hackerman top left. It'll be Fire Badgers on one cross court and Forts on the other. If these Forts were making Fangs and the Fangs had shield, they'd be a great counter to the Raidens. Now the Raidens are going to be ranged and EMP, so we're going to be turning off key techs on whatever we hit. If the Raidens get up to chain, the chain can turn off a key tech from a backline using.
Can Raiden attacks jump through a shielded fort's shield?
No, they do run into the shield, but they will pick a unit that is blocked by the shield, as it's one of their
right. One of their jump targets.
Yeah, one of their jump targets. So the Tarantulas are now ranged and splash for great chaff clear. We're going to rely on... Well, yeah, the steel balls go down quickly. The range splash even works on the steel balls. Yikes. It's helped over here with probably with a sentry missile as well on that flank.
That fire was brutal.
Round fire just cleaned up with the on that side. On Mag 1's side, adding forts and melters. Or Go Dog's side, I should say. On adding forts and melters has just made this ridiculously good.
There were 2 packs of level 3 wasps that got double teched, and there's not fast upshoot, so it's going to be slow cleanup this round. It probably will be gained with what's surviving, but next round the forts could just take AA, or another unit could be added for that fast upshoot, so they were in a long-term winning position. And they beat the cheese round.
Yeah, long-term winning position and a short-term winning position. GG's. 7 rounds and done. As we were saying, 2v2s, if you're both winning your side, 2v2 matches end really, really quickly. They don't drag on. They're not going to be these 10, 11, 12 rounds to, to take a look at.
It's very, very rare you get a double-digit 2v2 game.
Yeah.
In terms of round count.
Yep. And in fact, that was something that was messing me up with the partner I was unfamiliar with. We were winding up in like a 9th round, and I was like, "Oh no, my build was built to win this in 7."
Win, right? Win or lose before then, because that's the anomaly.
Yep. I am long-term outscaled, but not short-term outscaled.
Right.
All right, so that is, at this point, our heroes are 2-0. There's about an hour and 15 minutes to the next tournament start. I'm going to start our ad and load match number 3. Match number 3, Mag 1, our Go Dog and the Moor come up against Armeria. And
oof.
Yeah, the matches do not get any easier in Advanced Group 1, do they, Go Dog?
And this will be Siege, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Right. Our Siege match was entertaining for sure. All right, Mag 1. Let's see, how's this going to go? We will see, since Mag 1 and the Moor are blue, Mag 1 is going to be the bottom. Armeria is going to be second layer of the sandwich. Shiroha will be the third layer of the sandwich, and the Moor will be the far side of the sandwich. So, well, here we are. Attackers on the outside, right? Quick Supply and Aerial. And we've got a sledge mark start that we're going to be watching from Godog's perspective as we see this go. Far side, it's an aerial specialist. He's got the hounds, and starting with storms. This is the exact formation I saw when somebody else ran hound and storm against me. They added a pair of hounds on the outside, but I think that's something to know when you're looking at a storm hound start. That's probably what people are going to be doing. They're not expecting a range war if they've got hounds. So they position a little bit in front of towers like this.
Okay.
Godog says that both 201 opponents here, Armeria and Shiroha, have all arrived at rank 1 of Mechabellum. Which is, yeah, Shiroha is amazing. And Shiroha, Shiroha is a total gentleman. I remember him because he was on a Smurf account in one of my very first tournaments, and absolutely thumped me, right? Like, it was not close. First tournament match, welcome to the tournament, kid. And then he was a total gentleman, chatted with me for a little while, but didn't just leave the room right away. It did his best to chat in English, and you know, then swung by the stream to say hi afterwards and all that. Like, so it's just somebody I really, really like. But he talked me through what he had done and what I could have done to counter it, which was really neat. It was really appreciated for, you know, giving me just this positive impression of the game in general. And yeah, it's one of those, like, without Shiroha, I wonder if I would even have stuck around. You know, I probably wouldn't have been interested in the tournaments as much. You know, but the fact that he was like, "Oh yeah, you're not out. Just keep, you know, here's what you could have done. Good luck in the next one."
Right.
Yeah, really made a difference. All right, sledges are the natural predator of hounds, so the
yes, they are.
Sledge side has gone pretty well for Shiroha, especially with amplifying cores on them into a hound start. On this end, Godog is winning with the marksman and has about 2 surviving sledges, maybe. Let's speed it up to 2.0. On this siege map, speed is important because you're going to wind up with this. I won my side, and potentially, if Godog could have won their side quicker than Shiroha won this side, and then close this distance to take these 2 towers, they can gain a huge advantage through that, and then fight Shiroha under debuff, even if Shiroha has won their side. We're going to
also having high range units can be very powerful in this mode because you get a second long distance engagement as opposed to just the start of the round.
Right. Right. So committing to your short-term, you know, short-range units right from the off, it tends to be contraindicated for siege specifically. The normal map also possibly, but for this one especially. And Armeria knows that, goes for the Phoenix.
It's also worth noting that the shorter the range of your units, the faster and faster they need to be because there's 2 rounds of gap close involved.
Right. Your very slow, very short range unit, High Badger, not quite so useful in this.
Right. You just need to get Speed Specialist with Speed Perk, with Haste Module, with Temp's range and Temp Speed, and then you got your Blitzkrieg Fire Badgers.
So Godog and Shiroha given it some thought, but Godog takes the Arc Lights, free Arc Lights, good chaff clear, can't pass that up. Even in a mode where you might have wanted some speed. It'll be Phoenix in the middle, and again, they're thinking, you know, God forbid, but if I can win my side and then have the Phoenix turn around and get down here, There's also going to be interesting plays with mobile beacons, where this Phoenix Deep can get mobile beaconed over to this side, if needed. And note that flanks out here and spells in the middle can really change the way that this board feels and
Yes.
plays. You can,
And there's a lot of middle players have the ability to beacon their units all to one direction and try to create a full pressure, and then the outside players can even use center deep flanks to pull both center players' chaff.
Right.
With one deploy, so there's a lot of interactability there.
Right. Fun fact, you guys remember Saab's production War Factory builds? They were developed on our Fun Fridays and 2v2 matches, played specifically for this board with the War Factories here, mobile beaconing onto partner's board, producing, and then partner and you both win and come back this direction. And obviously that worked pretty well. In a way that is tough, especially if far side opponent is in hyper slow units, right? So
Right.
just level the towers and move away. We'll speed up again. It looks like about the same results. Godog winning this time with 4 marksmen, and Shiroha winning with the Phoenix and a couple of sledges. But here's what we were talking about: get in and take those 2 towers for this fight. So Mag1 Godog didn't win their side. Moore did not win their side, but they did buy enough time for Godog to get those center towers and fight under debuff. And now you're getting hyper-scaling marksman over here.
Marksman.
So
yep.
Marksman techs for your standard boards, you might not have elite marksman on, but for this board in particular, you probably want elite marksman. Again, because of the hyperscaling, if you can win your side and then win your partner's side, and then also for the range benefits. Same thing's going to happen to the arc lights that people have. If you do have elite marksman on arc light, that's going to pay out on this board in particular. Apparently we had a fire drop because 3 of the 4 players are dropping fire.
I took this opportunity to swap out my War Factory tech before I forget.
Mm-hmm. Nice shield, Godog.
There's an interesting...
Read it correctly where he wants it. Go ahead.
Interesting thought I had is sledges are the natural enemy of hounds more so than almost anything else, but with the prevalence of arc lights these days, and with carry arc in particular being strong against sledge, it does kind of mean that there's some interesting carry potential between 2 100 cost units that I don't know had existed before.
Ooh. Right. You're gonna throw down the counter to the hounds. I'm gonna have the arc lights that feast off the sledges.
And then you have a perfect chaff counter board in case you want to go into a heavy hitting giant late game.
Right.
I actually think there might be a thing there. That sounds really interesting the more I think about it.
What has Meg 1 done to turn, or I'm sorry, what has the Moore done to turn around the far side board? Looks like it is going much better. We've added some Phoenix.
The fire torching all the chaff really helped on the side that he won. He's still somewhat losing the right side, but the tower going down helped turn that fight. He did also add Phoenix this round, so a combination of fire on the ground and Phoenix.
Right. Delete the chaff and then have a good single target unit.
Yep.
That actually sounds like a strat in and of itself for the very low level player, right? Think about, if I'm throwing down fire, that is the round to, I can sort of skip buying some chaff clear. I probably don't want to buy chaff because maybe they're throwing down fire and I run it right into it. But it might be the round to buy the single target killer. Your Phoenix, your Melting Point, your Sabertooth, whatever it is that you're thinking of, Scorpion, Marksman, whatever those single target killer that you need in your particular board is. Again, Godog and the Moor have saved a fire from last round to drop it on the board this round. I'm sorry, it's not Mag 1 and the Moor. It's Armeria and Shiroha have saved it this round. So we saw that in the Mag 1's first game. We see it from opponents in this third game. And now they're pairing it with, I'm going to kill all of your chaff and drop a rhino drop down there. And they both
Which not only pulls everything in the fire and keeps it there, but then also kills the chaff for the rhino to get to tower.
Right. And the rhino really does not care about it. Everybody else took quick cooldown. Everybody took quick cooldown except for Armeria, who took except for Shiroha, who took the rhino assault. So.
Right.
And once quick cooldown is unlocked, Godog and the Moor are going to be making good use of oil. You can have oil on the board for 2 rounds out of 3 with that. Yep, all the chaff gone on Godog's left side, but the marksman and shields did just enough to beat the rhino. It is causing all sorts of problems out in front. On this side of the board, the Moor has stopped the chaff advance with the oil, allowing his Phoenix to get a lot of work done before running into the enemy's Phoenix. On the right side, as Alpha Titan said, he's still losing pretty hard. On the left, he's winning. Down here, it's come down to Marksman versus Phoenix. Godog gets the win there, and then we've got Stormcallers versus Stormcallers.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more work to do on chaff clear. I really think that they need to range their hounds, and they'll be in a much stronger position. Right now, the hounds are dying before they're able to kill the chaff. And then the birds aren't getting to their priority locks.
Right. So range on the hounds because they're the chaff clear unit.
Right.
Speeding up to 2.0 for this one. I did want to give a shout out. Thank you for the Prime follow, Actos. I appreciate it very much. Folks who subscribe in that way are part of what keeps me on the air. Really appreciate you guys.
These marksmen just putting in work.
And they're leveling for it, too. Love it.
Yes.
Hey, why can't we steal somebody else's shield? I mean, the shields should be neutral, right? This part of the board is shielded. Whoever's in it, fighting out of it.
I honestly think that makes more sense with the fact that, Ion Beam doesn't care friend or foes.
Exactly.
Orbital doesn't care friend or foe. I honestly think that shields should be inside is protected from outside.
Exactly.
That was what I thought when I started the game.
I would have loved that. Armeria and the Moor have taken the Scorpions. Shiroha takes 2 level 2 Rhinos, and Godog giving it plenty of thought. That is partly, I believe you were playing this and chatting with Yes Win Big, right, Godog? So there's going to be discussion time happening there. Picks up the level 2 Fire Badgers, and we're going to counter the flank with a Fire Badger. We're going to have a Fire Badger on the line. That Fire Badger's going to have a bad time because of the Scorpion, but we both have the ability to throw down the oil, so we're going to light... Hey! We are... Interesting. We're going to back the Fire Badger up. There is no enemy unit right in that range, right? So we do have to kind of allow the enemy to walk into it, so... 3 more Arclights Elite recruited for Godog. We've got the... Not teched yet, it's round 5. Check this out, there are 0 techs on this board. It has been all econ. Well, I think only just unlocked Cell. By holding these guys back, they are not one-shot by the Scorpion and delete the oil. So great audible there from his initial position. I imagine the way that went is somebody clicked And if I understand right, it's probably yes when Big did the clicks. Godog was actually the one making the decisions. That is one of the ways that they'll do that. And so great audible from Godog to pull back off the line where it would have been deleted had it been up front into that Scorpion drop. With the chaff cleared on that side,
Speaking of Scorpions,
win right hard. How did the Moor do?
the Scorpions with range immediately are the sledgehammer answer. Still no range yet on the Hounds, but range Scorpions were a big pivot. And honestly, right now, there is no EMP option for Armeria's sledges. I'm sorry, not Armeria. Your guy is against Armeria. Is Armeria at the top for red?
Shiroha is top for red. Godog
Gotcha.
says, no, this is the Chinese account. I played. There was no yes when Big. So thank you for the clarification. Apologies for that. Godog with the intensive. The Moor takes the intensive. I see. Godog says it's possible that yes when Big might play with the Moor at Europe or Americas. Armeria also took the intensive, Shiroha giving it some thought. Let's see what we have intensived. Now that there's no oil drop and the fires are unlocked, we've sold out of that front fire badger. Opponent's fire is over here, trying to pull units out into the corner and get them to die in the fire.
While on top side, blue is now ranged as Phoenix as well.
Right.
And his chaff is more fanged than crawler, which means the fire is less threatening. We're also getting lone, but not range yet. So
right. So rather than playing
shaping up to be an end game for it.
Yeah, rather than playing this for speed to close the distance, Godog and the Moor are playing this as range war to close that late distance. So exactly what Titan was saying.
Right, to leverage.
At the start of that of the game when we were talking about it. Just basically turn this into a range war, and even if my partner loses their side, if my surviving units are hyper ranged when we have that secondary fight, then my hyper ranged units are going to be fine. And of course, having the slow moving fangs late arriving on both sides of the board. You can see Godog's here. That's going to help to create the late game chaff that you might need. Only problem, of course, is that your late game fangs have 6 meters per second, your marksmen and arclights have 7 and 8 meters, so you can actually wind up with the fangs behind, but oh well. What you gonna do?
That said, if your marksmen start shooting from 160 or 80 meters,
yes,
your fangs may still overtake them
before
in terms of
range. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the worst thing you can do is have fast chaff and slow carries, because then your chaff gets ahead and just dies and doesn't really do its job of being chaff.
Right.
Yeah, Scorpions are doing a tremendous amount of work on topside, which is only further implying to me that I think that they are, when they are good, they should not be as something that people avoid because of their cost to get into, as they might normally or otherwise be.
But that was part of the design decision, right, for this 1.3.0 patch, was to drop
Yes.
the unlock costs of key units, like Sledge, Steel Ball, etc., to 0, so that you don't wait for them to show up on a unit drop, right? So get rid of this waiting game. And then the absolute difference makers, Rhino, Scorpion, Wraith, stayed at 50 unlock.
Or Wraith is still the 200 cost unit that costs 100 to unlock when the 300s cost 50.
Rhino, you mean? Wraith is 300. Rhino is 200.
I meant to say Hacker. Did I not say Hacker?
Rhino and Hacker are both 200. Hacker costs 100s to unlock. Yes,
that's what I was saying. The poor Hacker still costs a full 100, even though 300s cost 50.
Right.
Blue is doing an acid in the middle.
Yup.
We
think we outranged them. if we lose either side, the last fight is going to happen with opponent's sledges kind of having to move into that acid or oil. We've got acid over here as well.
So fire and oil were connected and got dropped on topside blue and just completely obliterated their center line. So they lose this round due to heavy spell tempo.
Right.
And even then, they don't lose terribly hard.
That's
There's
an
maybe
indicator of
1,000
a
left.
really good board, furthermore.
Yes. Yeah, they're in a very winning position at the moment. And honestly, they might not even lose the round because there's only another pair of Phoenix and they got a good tower timing.
Right.
And they win their round, although there's things, so the things will probably clean up the Phoenix.
Ah, Godog says the middle acid was to defend the production factory running because Shiroha saved so much money the previous round. So they were expecting
Gotcha.
that
So it was a
Saban
hedge.
They were expecting that Saban style production war factory with a mobile beacon the wrong direction. As the play, figure I'm losing my side, I'm going to run away. It's not what they actually ran into, but they have that covered. And now they've got the... it's not going to kill anything, I don't think. I think they're all going to make it through, but... You know, if we had won this side, we'd be fighting these guys in a really good position. Right. Godog says we had enough of an advantage, so rather than putting the hammer down, making sure we win harder, we hedged against the most dangerous decision that opponents could make, which was the production war factory. Quick little missile strike for the Moor. Photon emission, missile strike. Photon making some sense if you're going to be fighting out of this acid. That's the wrong text, I think. This should be the intensive training, I believe.
Either that or the wrong picture.
Well, all the text was for the intensive training. Just the title was Photon emission. Fire badgers are now here to light all that oil on fire. Whoop! Thump. We've got a shield covering this fire. Good. We've got a secondary oil. So this bink, 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 bink. And there is charge shot on the marksman. The marksman come alive for Godog. Alright, let's slow the computer down. We're going to light things on fire everywhere. Drops everywhere. And this is a good time for a sound check. Make sure my voice is about the right sound relative to this incendiary, relative to Alpha Titan's voice. You guys can hear me, I hope. Hopefully this is a good volume to hear. Okay, clever choice. Armiria took the Hound cleanup, which you can see cleaning up both the acid and the fire. Well played. I think it is you spend 250 or 300 to get it, right? And the cleanup Hound, it's a 200 cost tech, and it's every other tech on the Hound is plus 200. So if you want to force your opponent to spend money to tech his hounds, it's a great call. If your opponent has no hounds at all, it's a great call. If your opponent has 8 hounds and he has an easy cleanup, then, well, at least you forced him to do it, right? So there's no way that Armiria now could tech the hounds to be like full carry or something. They'll be a lot more expensive. Yeah, this is a unit I have been absolutely wanting. I was calling it an engineer unit with the ability to put out fire and clean up oil and clean up acid. I was expecting, clean oil, clean fire, clean acid to be like 3 different techs, maybe. So you kind of have to like pick and choose your role in a given game. But this is perfectly valid. Works for me. We're spraying water on everything. Go.
Right. cleanup crew.
The cleanup crew.
I kind of wish it also cleared fog, but it doesn't, and I can live with that. But I kind of wish it did.
Yeah, cleaning oil. Well, no, because Sten, specifically, you can clean acid by diluting it with water. You can clean fire by pouring water on it. You cannot clean up oil by pouring water on it. Does not work. Clean smoke, that does not work with water either. So, like, physics, it makes perfect sense that it works exactly the way it does. Yeah, now you can light your enemies on fire and you don't burn from it. And what I'm expecting, that is going to open up a whole lot of aggro fire builds. Right?
Right.
Fire Badger on the line with Fang. Ranged Fire Badger, ranged Fang, light the oil on fire, short range hounds come up and clean it up in front of it. You know, like thump. Radioactive Wabbit with the highlighted message says, remember, do not put water on an oil fire, chat. Yes, if you are ever have the oil fire in your kitchen, the answer is cover it. Never, ever, ever water it. Cover it
Smother
with a
it.
lid. This is why you have metal lids for your pots. Cover. Done. It cannot burn.
Oxygen denial.
Oxygen denied for the win. And then you let it cool down until it can't ignite when you take the lid off. All right. Speaking of popping off, ignited, let's go to the final cast in Illuminati versus Godog and the Moor. Yeah, Sten is correct. Smother it is the first choice. You should have a kitchen fire extinguisher that is chemically designed for use on an oil fire. Frying pan with, if you don't have a lid, sure. Sawdust is actually used in the oil field. Interesting. But that's for cleaning up oil, not oil that is on fire.
Right. That I would imagine that's for absorbing oil, because sawdust is like extraordinarily flammable.
Flammable, yeah. Okay, we've got our final is on a compact map. We're back to compact. Easiest one to show. Back at home, and I love the design decision, knowing that compact is the best. You know, the sorry,
right.
Not the best. The people's preferred map for 2v2. Making sure that the final was on compact was a really nice.
No caster bias, of course.
Really nice touch. So, Godog, left side, a giant specialist with crawlers and stormcallers, near side left. The Moor, near side right, with a hound and storm start. See what I mean? You see 3 hounds and 2 storms, you know where the storms are going to be. Every single time that I've seen it right now. Cast, a marksman specialist, up top side left with crawlers and sledges. Illuminati, missile specialist, top side right. Fun fact, if we actually had true strongest opponent beaten, and it included folks on the test server, Illuminati is the strongest opponent I have beaten. Godog has beaten me every single time I've run into him. And I've never beaten Cast or the Moor. I don't think I've played either of them yet.
Gotcha.
Apucci amongst Sacco and who else was in the, and Shiroha are all unbeaten against me, and it has never been close. I took 2 rounds. I took 2 rounds off of Monkst though.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
I think my toughest beaten is B-Man still.
Ooh,
although it depends on who you remember the round. But
yeah. That's a heck of a round. Okay, we've added a pair of arc lights for Godog, best chaff clear in the game. Surprise, surprise. Added for opponent as well for Cast. On Illuminati's side, it was 3 arc lights in the start, so he's added some chaff. And for the Moor, we've added some non-hound chaff. Antpile says, I'm considering taking Hound Fire Tech back off and putting armor back on. 400 is a lot, but are we willing to drop 500 on Fang shields? So it could be worth it in certain situations. Absolutely. I have made that exact call. That's what I'm running right now. So.
At this point, I'm not convinced that I would run Hound carry, so I've actually dropped Mech Rage personally and keeping my Hound as a pure utility of the other four techs. But I definitely think armor against Mustangs in particular, and even against, potentially against Fire and Vulcans, it's not hard to get a level 2 Hound, and then you can hard lock, a Vulcan clear, you become immune to other chaff damage. Armored chaff is really powerful.
Counterpoint? Mech Rage
Yes.
armored Hound moves at 14 meters per second and protects the 16 meter per second Mustang from Mustang and Fang and Fire Badger and wait, and Vulcan and pretty much everything that's not an Arclight or a Tarantula or a Sledge. So, let's see. Godog takes a Tarantula. The Moor takes a Phoenix. Illuminati with a Phoenix as well, so they'll be opposite each other there. And cast. Yeah, it also protects them from ground fire. So, like, they are the natural. The Hound protects the horse. Let's go. Sheepdog build would be Mech Rage armor and water. Protects the horses. Cast is thinking about it. Let's take a look at what's going on the board. We have a Missile Strike from the Missile Strike Specialist right on top of the Storms. This is a great spot to Missile Strike on the compact map because it's really tough to shield, right? This team can't place a shield that covers both of those unless they got the shields drop. So you almost guaranteed that you're going to hit something when you drop this kind of missile, or when you drop a spell over the middle. You're going to have these kind of awkwardly open places that your spell is still landing with no shield.
There are times that I wish I could place a half shield just so I could cover what is on my tower, even if it didn't give me any overlap, because you literally physically can't shield it.
Godog, look at this tempo. Takes the round 2 Vulcan. Free unlock as Giant Specialist, 400 to buy it. There we go. I'm going with my Vulcan. So, we're in Vulcan and Stormcaller, and we're cleaning up all the chaff. For cast, it's a beautiful start. This is really tough to recover from if the Vulcan gets up to level 2 and winds up with Scorching Flames. Note that he is still running Incendiary Bombing. I've seen a lot of players have adapted to Hound and, for example, Sandworm by foregoing Incendiary to put Ignite back on the bar for Vulcans.
Fair.
Alright, the Vulcan had a bad day. I mean, there was a level 3 marksman to be fair, but the level 3 marksman
Our
is
timing
dead.
hurt too.
No more upshoot. And yeah, actually that missile strike in the middle created the tower timing that hurt the Vulcan as well. Nicely done. The let's see. The Moor, however, has basically won the round for us with the Phoenix. And off we go. 2.0 speed. We're going to level those Phoenix long ago. There's no point in getting more experience.
They are
Save the shield.
Very level 2.
Save the shield.
One blue.
Minus 100.
Got away.
Not just got away with half a head. Quarter of a health. Whooped wants to know how am I functioning right now after a 14-hour stream yesterday, a long fun Friday. I literally had 2 8-hour breaks between Megabellum from Friday to now. Titan, I am gonna log off after our tourney, okay? I hope you don't mind.
That makes sense.
All right.
I will be personally deeply offended.
Exactly. Appreciate it. Okay. Advanced Shield Device. I've talked about this a lot. I love this. It is
so much value.
Bumping your shields from 40,000 hit points to 56,000 hit points. You know you're going to buy shields late game. This is just huge. You spend 50. Spend 50 for plus 16,000 hit points. Sure, I would.
Even if you only shield once, you paid 50% more because this cost 50 to get 40% more.
Exactly.
Every shield after your first is profit in terms of the health that you're buying.
Yep. Empire wants to know if my mecha play drops dramatically when I'm tired. Yes, it absolutely does. And I notice this especially during long streams. I actually have the chat had noticed this before I did, but the when I am hungry, I go on a losing streak, and the fix to my losing streaks is often go take a break, take a snack. Whooped. Thank
Also, you don't play well when you're hot.
See, also true. Yes, middle of summer, overheating room. Don't play well. It's true.
I remember vividly at like mid-afternoon. I was like, okay,
time to
we can drop 50 MMR and we'll gain it back tonight when it cools off for tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So Titan's like, yeah, I think it's time to redeem a replay review right now. Save my MMR. Whoop says, you're an animal partner. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right. We've added, for Godog, we've added the second Vulcan mid, and we're just clearly in a Vulcan, what I would say is a Vulcan marksman build. If you're seeing this, he hasn't even bought the marksman yet, but I'm full expecting a Vulcan marksman. If he had been able to get a Phoenix drop, possibly he pivots from Vulcan Marksman to Vulcan Phoenix, just because it was free to get, 3 level 1 Phoenix or whatever. But since he's not, both his partner and his partner's opponent have Phoenix, so he's not going to get that. He's going to probably wind up with a Marksman and Marksman Tex later.
He is giant, so I could see it being the Vulcan Melter potentially.
Yeah,
it's
that would
really
be
hard for anyone else to do that, but
right.
It is possible for giant spec.
Right. Godog, do you make use of the free giant unlock to block Melter? Because that's something that Titan and I try to do in 2v2 especially, trying to have the giant specialist unlock Melter on either round 1 or round 2, so that it cannot show up as a round 3 drop. And we do it on round 2 typically if you've seen the... he says yes, every game. Absolutely. And again, you do it on round 2 so that the...
Giants can't appear on round 3.
Because giants appear on round 3. So he says also, I read the replay quickly to analyze my opponent's behavior. So in tournament, right, you've got the ability to download the replay in the middle of the tournament. You've got that 3-minute countdown.
Oh my gosh.
Download the replay. Take a look. You know who your opponent is going to be.
That is mind-blowing.
You know who your opponent's going to be, right? And he's even changing techs with his partner based on opponents' behaviors and techs in the last games.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
That's a level of coordination that you really have to practice as a skill to get good at. That's a whole nother level that I hadn't even considered. But I mean, the tools are there if you want to multitask.
The tools are there, and if you are that good, and let's be clear, this is the difference between Titan and I are trying to get from 1800 to 2000 MMR. Godog is trying to go from 2300 to 2500. Is that about right? Basically to win titles. And he is, by the way, for those that don't know, Godog is the 201 team captain and is one of the top streamers in Bilibili. He's part of the partner program with Game River Studio. So he's been part of our curator program, gets early access. Godog and I have talked a bunch on the on the test server. We've played a bunch of matches. I don't queue into him on production server at all, as I'm just not at that level. If I queued into Godog, I would cry. If I queued into Godog on a tournament, I would be really, really happy, and I'd try to last to the 6th round. On the left side, we've got added the melter exactly as you predicted. So I was seeing the Vulcan marksman coming. You said Vulcan melter was a possibility. Absolutely, and he's got the melter with ranged already. So nobody's ever going to
particularly in a Vulcan mirror. It's nice to have the melter in particular.
Yep.
Which is good because for the first 2 previous rounds, he actually lost the Vulcan head-to-head, which meant that he was dangerously close to losing that level mirror.
Right. So Antpile wants to know if Mass Fort is still the meta at the highest MMR. we don't know what the meta for the 1.3 patch is going to be. It has definitely shifted. I have had Mass Fort beaten in this meta. You got to mute that, Titan, whatever you're doing there. So I have had Mass Fort beaten by a couple of different builds in the current meta. I would say it's like from the top level matches that I've watched, from playing, getting to do some 2v2s with the S1 Big on Friday night, and getting to watch this and the weekend tournaments. I have absolutely not seen a zillion forts forced. Mass-produced fort got me beaten in one of my 2v2s today. So it definitely felt a lot weaker. Even with shields and fangs, it was just gone. It was done. It was nice for 2 rounds or so, and then it was just outclassed. Okay.
Mass Prod Fort in particular was also nerfed from 30 to 40% reduction in stats, which is huge.
Yep, it is. I had to try it. It is terrible. The melters. We've got a second melter, and as you said, this is into the melter mirror. Both sides have
the Vulcan mirror.
Or Vulcan mirror, yes. Both sides have the enhancement module for stonks. Cast is trying to use it as the plus 20% damage on his Vulcan. He does not have Scorching Flames yet, so that would give him plus 100. At that point, this would only be plus 120%. But for right now, he's desperately trying to get some extra damage. Brutal from Godog. Not even from Godog. This is from... Oh, it is from Godog to drop the oil on Cast's side.
Don't know if it gets lit this round, but it'll slow this round, and then he can put a front chaff to light it next round.
It gets lit, but bump. And on the other side, the more in a solid Phoenix build at this point. Opponent might want to get to AA Marksman to shoot that down, but he's not running it. So he's got range, elite, electromag, and quick reload. Got no real hope of that. And of course, Godog is just cleaning up with the fire. Partner can buy that same oil for next round, so if you get beaten hard in a round, you buy oil. Again. You've got to know it could happen again the next round or the round after, depending on your opponents. So that's
and while Melter in general has been weaker because of various nerfs, it is stronger again in 2v2 because it is a range king option.
Right. So Godog and the Moor are on 4,800 cast, and Illuminati down to 2,500. The Moor takes the incendiary. We know that drop worked really well out here with the oil. So this is essentially 150 for another oil. He's going to put it straight in front of himself on this right side. Bubbles up. He knows the incendiary's there. When you see a spell, you almost want to spend your money playing around the spell first. Godog takes the shield airdrop. If you were coordinating perfectly, you might have had this shield over just a little bit and this shield airdrop covering the mid. But see how both sides... Right. I talked earlier about how both sides... how the shield airdrop is the only thing that can cover the middle flank. There's not even a flank here because the boards are squished together. Both sides took it. You really, absolutely want to be coordinating with your 2v2 partner to make sure at least one of you took it, right? You gotta talk over the board or carded decisions before you click something. Don't just click through, oh yeah, I saw the best thing, I clicked it, right? You've gotta talk them through. Some of the other things are, for example, improved melter. You want, because range is so important in the 2v2, you may need to talk over, like, can one of us take that improved melter? So, because if the opponents take it and we don't, we can be outranged, or we can be basically range equaled by a multi-melter while we're still shooting a single beam. Godog goes for the finish, the double reproducing sandworms. They're not even just double sandworms. I'm sorry, I have underestimated Godog. Those are double level 2s. We went for elite.
Right, they were elited.
Elite recruiting them. It's round 6. We're in lone range speed, right? This is the only thing I've noticed so far that I'm really like, this is a spot I think this team made a mistake. And that is simply, if you're going to loan, notify your partner that you're going to loan, because you guys want to be on the same economic timing. So, rapid resupply for both teams, for both players. And, maybe potentially there is something that the Moor would have done with that extra 200 coin that might have resulted in, let's say that resulted in one more giant surviving the round. That might have been the difference between finishing on round 6 or not, or finishing on round 7 or not.
And in this case, it was 120 hit points that cost them not winning the game.
Right, and I almost all but guarantee if Moore had taken that, even if it's just throwing down four missiles, one shield for 2 missiles, right? That's going to make the 120 difference. So that's a little tiny thing that Godog and the Moor can improve. And again, Godog's taken the range speed already. I presume we're going to be in lone range speed at this point for both teams. We're thinking through...
I'm a little surprised to see this sell for stonks by Mag1 this round on his leveled melter.
So stonked the leveled melter to get back to a level 1. There are some players who think that is the right choice. And so
It certainly can be.
Godog made that choice here because he's got the ability to sell it, buy it back, and get this level for free, and have 200 extra cost available.
Sure.
So he's got 200 cost, and he's got the exact same units, and it's going to cost him 50 to buy one more recruit. So he's plus 150 on that. It makes sense. Unless the recruit is what you desperately needed.
Right.
To the Sandworms, he's added 50% hit point with armor enhancement, and shielded wasps to negate the marksman. One of the concerns would be the marksman, for example, single targeting and having electromagnetic shot or something. Cast's Hail Mary is a War Factory producing steel balls. We'll get the steel balls out in front and have them tank and hopefully eat a bunch of...
Oh my goodness.
Eat a bunch of shots from melting
His steel
point.
balls don't run mech div. I was curious if they had any techs on them, and he doesn't have any, but he doesn't even run mech div on them.
Right. Good locks for the melters, take care of the Vulcans. The sandworms with armor, you can see the importance of the armor. Without it, this sandworm would have been dead right here in the fight. This War Factory should beat a sandworm head-to-head, but by the time it does, it's a little bit all over. And Godog, playing as Mag1 Godog, and the Moor are your very first 2v2 champions. First ever tournament. Congratulations, guys. Well played. Brilliant work. I wound up partnered with Jeannie. We went 2-2 in Advanced Group 2. So, would love... I'm hoping to do a little bit better with Titan in Europe, which is coming up in 27 minutes. About time to get one game in. It was warm up and get yourself registered for that tournament. If you are looking for a partner and don't have one, and you're a member of the Mechabellum Guild, we did create a looking for partner channel. It's under the main hub, 2 or 3 down from looking for partner, depending on whether you're a content creator. And you can post there saying, hey, I want to partner for this tournament. And here's my MMR. And see if somebody signs up for you. And the way that you sign up for a 2v2 tournament, you click on in. When you're here, you would click on unit, click on the plus, you get your list of friends, and you can invite somebody to sign up with. So, I am not going to do that. We're actually going to we'll do one warm-up match. It's very much this interface, right? There is an Alpha Titan to link up with. We're going to go for team matchmaking. And I'll show you one of the other nice things. If you are off team matchmaking, you come over to the tournament. He's pre-populated, right? So you just do your warm-up match. Get your warm-up match going right now. We'll see you on ladder.
Yes.
And we are probably queuing all 3 of these based on needing to practice siege and normal. In fact, I'm going to deselect compact. Only time I've ever done that.
I can accept it.
I know it's not what I want. It's what I need
It's
to
so
do.
painful.
It's what I need
I
to
almost
do.
want to queue priority for Siege because we have so little practice on it.
Yeah. My partner is sleeping and not responding. You should get some sleep. I think I'm going to stay up. I'm not tired. Yes, Frostwall, that's a good question. The 2v2 tourney is all 3 map types. Round 1. Hey, Go Dog, first off, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciated some of the conversations that we had in your in the test server. Go Dog is a really, really nice guy, really polite, really helpful, really friendly guy. I can see why you are a great streamer. Congratulations on the tremendous performances for the 201 team in Mag 1 and also on your championship. Good night. Get some sleep. He says, I hope you have good cards. Thank you very much. All right.
Oh, you did drop.
Yeah.
I wonder how that'll influence. Did they take the average or the sum total of the MMR?
We think it's summed total.
Gotcha. Which would essentially be the same as the average
the same.
because you'd be right.
Well, it's a long loading screen.
So we are in agreement. If we absolutely have to, we will surrender the match so that we can
get into
play the okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
We certainly hope not to, because we both dropped a not insubstantial amount of MMR on that, given that they're 200 to 300 below us. But
yep,
we're going to play the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a speed with storms, and I think that is far
away. What kind of map are we on? We're on standard map.
Standard, okay.
I'm going to take Arc Sledge Training.
Sweet. Love it.
There's been a lot of Hound, and honestly, Arcs have been really strong, so Arc packs are something that I am looking at with extra willingness in recent days. And I've actually played 3 carry Arc games in the last week and won all of them.
Nice.
So,
I mean, that does not surprise me. Arc is very strong right now. Ichidenza and Triton are opponents.
Not familiar with Ichidanza, but I know Triton can play pretty solid.
Yep.
Triton S. Hounds are like fangs, but more water. That is one interpretation.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really agree with that. I think that they're rather distinct.
Yeah. We don't have to disabuse him of it unless we show him by play.
That's true. It's also something that would take a lot of time to try and contextualize. Like, asking the deep, the question to eat the time of your opponent is definitely one approach as well.
Definitely one strat, for sure. My guy is in Hounds and Sledges, so I'm likely to have a good time on round 1. I'm going to just unlock a pair of arc lights.
Nice.
Unlock a pair of arc lights.
You know what?
Play that.
I'm going to actually use my intensive on one of my arc lights round 1.
Yeah, love it. If you're considering carry arc.
I am strongly considering.
Yep.
I'm actually going to adapt my formation to be more carry arc friendly as well, from what my normal shape is.
Nice.
Ooh, my opponent is schizophrenically jumping between recommended formations.
Running out of time.
I wasn't sure what he was going to be. I think he was literally clicking through at random until it timed out.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I'll just take one of these.
I'm really glad that I leveled my arc because he's ended up with what he ended up playing. Completely winning the left side.
Okay. I started out ASIM far left, so that if there's a late game, I'm closing from left to right.
Okay. My guy is standard formation.
Yeah, my guy was very
Fairly
standard.
centered.
Very standard. He's got sledges, he's got arcs, he's got sledges, he's got 2 storms.
Oh,
So he went for
don't give me
double.
this.
He used quick supply for the free unlock of storms, bought 2 storms, and actually wins the round with it. So, sweet work. Let's go.
A bad tower timing meant that his arc got to kill mine and did get the level out of it.
All right. $6,000, $5,900. We're still ahead. They've got 5,500. My guys' storms are mid, as though he was expecting me to be aggro with speed. That makes
I'm
sense.
going to take advanced shield.
Yep.
Quick teleport is tempting, but I want the shield value for the potential.
Yeah, late game.
Mm-hmm.
Late game shield value.
Got a crawlers on both back flanks, which means if they do something in the back here, my units will pull it.
Right, got it.
And he's deep enough. I'm gonna take the unlock on the Fang. I want to have both types of chaff option.
Okay. I've gone running crawler 3rd storm.
Okay.
He's gone 2 more sledges, so it looks like a sledge carry, which is fine with me. I can throw down. He's got no chaff other than hounds. So
Corpse eat him.
What?
Corpse might eat him good
Yes, Corpse
with
are gonna eat him
no
for sure.
conventional chaff.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's 0 reason to buy conventional chaff, or not buy a scorpion.
Unless the drop gives us, like, a fortress. Or something, as the clear sledge answer.
Yeah, that's actually, hold on. With the changes to Fort, it's one of the things I haven't found that Fort is no longer feels like the clear sledge answer to me. I'm a lot more confident.
Well, if you don't have to pay the...
I'm a lot more confident when my sledges see forts or giants of any sort, and my forts have lost 2 sledges to sledge players recently. So
You don't have to pay the tempo on the fort, then I still think that it's probably one of the go-to answers, in my opinion, at least, from what I've seen.
I'm telling you, I have not paid unlock costs or forts for it, and have lost games with it today. So,
okay.
Now, today might be part of the problem, the 4 hours of sleep or whatever it was, but
tower timing is not going to be happy. Maybe it wears off. Yeah, but I just get splashed on by storm.
Yeah. This is fine. It's going to get better.
Yeah, small damage amounts at the moment. Phoenix or marksman? I'm going to go Phoenix because your guy has storms and I want to have something that is storm evadable.
Yeah, I went with Phoenix as well for the same reason. Even though what I really want is marksman. I want to win a range war here. But
and I really want to click the range button on my arcs, but then I don't get my full deploys or the use of my intensive. So I think I'm going to delay it by 1 round. Now I will unlock storms, so I have them in my pocket.
Okay. Okay,
Opponent added crawlers.
Wasp.
I'm in a pseudo mirror with my opponent. He also took the birds. Yes, I placed my bird so that I've one-tapped his blue Arclight. My opponent pulled a bunch of my stuff to your board, so my left flank is going to probably fall. Although my left flank could also just win without it, apparently. Unless I get bad Phoenix timing. Oh, just barely lost Phoenix timing, but I also lost a bunch of my value. Oh, I won my right side.
15 minutes to tourney. Tourney reg is open at this point.
At least
What are you frustrated about? We're winning this.
I know, and I was so close to having like another 600 units of value surviving, but I got really unfortunate on the tower timings, and then on the my birds turned instead of continuing to shoot the tower.
Got it. None of these are what we want, right?
I'm debating ER Sledge, but I don't think so. Definitely none of the others. It's free. I'm going to take the ER Sledge. This is a pseudo range war.
Mm-hmm.
If he ends up going fort, I can then range and kind of pivot into EMP outranging his forts with Sledge, and that'll help to hedge as well in case he goes fort counter to my Phoenix.
Right.
He's got Farseer. I need more chaff then. I went ahead and ranged my Phoenix first, but I definitely want to get range on my arcs soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to float 100. Oh, yeah. So he ranged his sledges and took ER Sledge as well, which is another reason why I didn't want to be the only one without it, but I'm glad that I ranged my Phoenixes.
Yeah, my guy is also extended range Sledge.
I'm keeping my Phoenixes this time, although the pull did still happen.
My guy decided he needed fire on the ground, so I probably need some hounds at some point, but...
Well, his hounds aren't doing too well in his own fire.
Yeah, it's... I ranged my fangs, so they're really not walking into the fire and... like...
Right.
Okay,
honestly, his fire is friendly fire.
Yes, he definitely friendly fired himself there.
Ranging my birds gives me a hard win.
Nice. For those of you playing, 10 minutes till tourney. Alright, no pressure. We got this.
What do I want? He is so clumped up in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and nuke.
Okay, I am smoking my guy. Smoke was up, nuke was up, so you're going to want shielding of some sort.
I think I'm going to loan this round in order to make sure that everything happens that I need.
Carry on. Be proud, whooped. Be proud. First unit teched. paid the unlock cost and teched for Scorpion.
Nice.
I know, and I'm since we loaned, I'm doing range and speed.
Okay.
How'd you nuke it?
Yes, although he triple shielded, so it got some, but not all of the units that I wanted.
Right.
And I still make full contact with my birds on his birds, and my shields are still up.
Let's go. I've left a
Oh,
couple
you also you pulled some of my birds.
Yeah. I have left something like 7 wasps. If my fangs don't walk into the fire, they'll come help your birds against it. The rest of my units are on the way with super range on his poor sledges.
Plus, I protected my shield.
Nice. All my shields.
So even though I nuked,
all of my shields survived the fact that we took improved shield, kept that one alive by like 1 hit point.
nice. I want here. Vulcan. Am I?
You're not smoking it. That's great. A really good choice. We're
It
still
is
loaning,
Vulcan.
ranging, speeding.
Yeah. I'm in Vulcan Phoenix now, apparently.
I'm in Vulcan Scorpion. That's a thing, right? Right? That's definitely a thing.
Apparently it is. I think I want my 2 Vulcan, yeah, on that side. And I want another bird mid. I guess. For the unlock, I'll click hounds. I don't think I'm going to use hounds, but I'll click it. If you have the spare, missling out the chaff and my flank would be nice, but it's not the end of the world.
A rhino running right into a new Scorpion.
That is a level 5 rhino, though. That may be enough. It's also I do take his birds. Maybe the Scorpion will get it with enough chaff and my blue birds. Yes. Although winning the Phoenix Air War, but he did take the reassembly. He barely gets to my tower first. Most of his birds have already had their resummon. I've still got chaff on the ground. Your things should clean up the wasps.
Yeah, they're in a shield bubble that hadn't been touched yet. And the wasps are debuffed, so they'll just sit there forever.
The quantum only reappears 1 time, correct?
I think that's the current tech, yeah, 1 time per battle.
Yeah. I may take EMP on my birds then, so that way when I tap them, they're done.
They're done, yeah.
I need a beacon, I think, to try and make sure my stuff is fighting on my side of the board, and extended range Phoenix is a given.
There's no point in leveling those. Only danger on the board is these guys. Yeah, right. The time needed for the mating ritual is a little rough. Alright, I am 3 minutes till tourney. I've got to go for a dedicated anti-wasp in a moment. All of my fangs have died to the fire. No, that's
Okay.
not true. There's 3 left in a shield. And you've died to your side.
I don't know that we have time.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not winning it this round, but I think that with more chaff, I would be able to turn it around. But you have how many minutes?
Just turned 3. We don't have time to play out a full round. Unless they're quick. So we'll just bother
Right,
at
I
these
will
and
hope that they click quick, and
Yeah,
when it gets to
exactly.
60 seconds, we'll have to.
Yep.
Hopefully they click.
Mhm. One minute 40. $130. $118.
And to the wire.
$105.
Now we're gonna have to bow out, I think.
48. $42. $30. $15. 10.
You won't win this round.
9.
Oh,
8. 7. 6. 5, 4, 3. Dude, I surrendered. I surrendered. You just have to say surrender.
I did.
Missed
I
it.
clicked.
Oh, we missed it, man.
I clicked.
I needed you to click about 30 at the 30-second mark. Like,
Oh,
I was in that screen, but it
your
takes me.
count.
It takes me.
I misunderstood your countdown purpose. I thought that we were waiting, so that's why I'd waited when I heard you counting down instead.
Oh, I was telling you exactly how many seconds you had for us to complete surrendering, clicking through the end game screen, and registering. I should have
misinterpreted the countdown.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, I am. Yeah, I didn't clarify what I was counting. I'm sorry, but.
So I thought that was your way of trying to let us get down to the wire, because I thought you thought we had it.
And I thought you had.
And so that was
up, and we're seeing exactly what I was looking at. Right. So, but you can't see exactly what I'm looking at when you're hearing me live.
There's also the 10-second delay,
and yeah, exactly.
So I didn't understand, and I apologize for not being on point.
I was not clear enough about what I was counting. It's on me, but we're never doing that again. We surrender at 1 minute.
I agree. That's like yes, I agree.
So, like, c'est la vie. I have zero interest in casting that after missing it, guys. I'm sorry. I've been up all night. Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to find you somebody to raid to who is streaming, and we'll figure this out a little bit better next week. Teething issues strike. No, you're too late to join anyways. But you can click anybody you want for any tournament. It's exactly the same as team matchmaking. You mark yourself as interested in teaming with the person. Have them on your friends list is the easiest way to do it. But invite them to team matchmaking and then click on the tournament if you want. If you guys chat in like or cross paths in some other way. All right. Good night and thanks everybody. I'm gonna take a nap. Honestly, I've probably gotten about 10 hours of sleep since the start of the Friday stream. So apologies if I have been at all short with you, Titan. That wasn't my intention, but I was burning the candle at both ends for this. So thank yous to our mods. Zach, we ran into on ladder. Zalix was here. Cat Samew's been here. Tab Target's been here. Hexton the Third's been here. And of course, Alpha Titan in my ear. Appreciate you guys, along with Cody, Woof, Decaf, and Ghosters. VIP sponsors, we've had Toast. We've had Blue Feral today. I think we've had a Fab 4200. And Yes Win Big, but of course we ran into Zach on ladder. Mr. John Thursday was hoping to be here for weekend stuff, but wound up with kids to watch. Ocelot Scheming, Xfire X, and Just Nash XYZ. Appreciate you guys for all the long time support. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here, and raiding y'all on to dun 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 dun. Well then. Looks like the raid would go to a... What in the earth is nobody? Who do we know that's doing this? You know what? I'm gonna give... Oh, there's a Pantsuman is going. Okay, let's give a raid to Pantsuman. I don't think we've done a Pantsuman raid in a long time. Here we are. Doing stupid stuff. 2v2 tourney later. Good night, and thanks for watching.